Media posts that he wants to resume those tests on a, quote, equal basis with Russia and China. It would be a major shift since the U.S. hasn't carried out such tests since the early 1990s. The president offered no details about the timing of the specific tests by other countries he was referring to.
Reaction from retired Navy Vice Admiral Robert Moritz.
Were we to do that, it would send a strong signal not just to China and Russia, but also a lot of other countries around the world. But it can be handled carefully, and I think if it was handled carefully, it wouldn't necessarily have to raise tensions.
The Pentagon has ordered the National Guards of all 50 states to form quick reaction forces.
CBS News has obtained internal Pentagon memos that call for the creation of the forces by January 1st to be available for rapid deployment nationwide. They will be trained in riot control and equipped with batons, body shields, tasers, and pepper spray. National Quick Reaction Forces have been created before, like after Hurricane Katrina, but critics say this is reminiscent of the events leading up to the Kent State shooting in 1970, when the Ohio National Guard killed 4 unarmed students. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
President Trump raves about his meeting today with China's President Xi in South Korea.
Overall, I guess on the scale of from 0 to 10, with 10 being the best, I would say the meeting was at 12.
He says China will resume buying U.S. soybeans and the restrictions on rare earth exports to the U.S. settled matter, he says. It's day 30 of the government shutdown. CBS's Nicole Killian is on Capitol Hill.
Pressure is intensifying on Congress with several key deadlines converging. Friday, troops are due to be paid. Saturday, food stamp benefits expire for more than 40 million Americans. And that same day, healthcare premiums are set to increase when open enrollment for the Affordable Care Act begins.
Hurricane Melissa is now a Category 2 storm, moving away from the Bahamas and heading toward Bermuda. In Jamaica, where the storm is a Category 5 caused death and destruction, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the southwestern end of the island took a major beating.
In the areas that have been badly affected, it may be a matter of weeks, but I give the assurance to my citizens that we'll be working very hard to have our electricity and telecommunications restored.
A total of 7 people are now under arrest in France in connection with the Louvre jewel heist, but no jewels have been recovered. Checking Wall Street's. Right now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 200 points. The S&P and NASDAQ are lower. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Should climate commitment money be used to fight wildfires? That's one of the stories coming up. But first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. A crash is blocking 3 lanes on the 520 bridge westbound at Montlake. You are jammed up back to midspan. Travel time Bellevue to Seattle on 520 is 36 minutes. That's 20 longer than usual. Other travel times, Everett to Seattle, 37 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle is 66, about 10 minutes longer than typical. Renton to Bellevue, 47 minutes, 5 longer. Traffic brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Newly released video shows a brutal attack at an Edmond spa in September. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibow reports.
Police say the video shows 48-year-old Colin Boswell barging into Eva Spa. He immediately starts attacking, shoving, and hitting one worker with his backpack, then pushes her into a room where another worker is. He grabbed a metal coat rack and kept beating them. Desperate cries for help as they try to escape. Outside cameras captured one victim running for her life before he tackled her to the ground. Property manager Daniel Mann says the other victim ran to his business.
Workers there called for help. The suspect is in jail facing attempted murder charges. Federal agents and Seattle police have arrested 10 people in a sweeping drug and gun trafficking crackdown across western Washington. Authorities seized over 100,000 fentanyl pills along with fentanyl powder, methamphetamine, heroin, cocaine, and 34 guns. Microsoft's Azure cloud services are back after a worldwide outage. This affected some major retailers, banks, tech companies, and airlines, including Alaska Airlines Online Services. This was the second outage in a week Alaska passengers have dealt with.
Don't know if I'm going to make my flight, so a little anxiety with that as well.
You have to bring your patience for sure. I've learned that over the last few years.
The issue was fixed after about 8 hours. There's a call for Washington state to use its pollution-fighting law to help fight wildfires. This comes after the legislature spent less on wildfire fighting and prevention than it had committed to under a bill passed after the deadly 2020 fire season. The bill's sponsor wants it fully funded next time around, adding,
Climate Commitment Act dollars are going to be on the table.
Representative Larry Springer says it makes sense.
The carbon that's thrown into the air by a wildfire is astronomical.
Wildfires have burned more than 250,000 acres this year. More honors for Mariners catcher Cal Raleigh.
The pitch to Cal. Swing and a drive. Deep to right field. There it is, number 60.
He's been named Player of the Year and American League Outstanding Player by the MLB Players Association, both awards voted on by fellow players. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy skies with highs in the mid-50s today. It's 46 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday, October 30th. I hope you're all doing well this morning. G is out today, but the gang is all here, the rest of us. Good morning, Chef.
Good morning, Ursula.
And good morning, Nick.
Good morning.
Hey, coming up after Heather's newscast at 9:30, the State Patrol has been out in force on 167, busting HOV cheaters who think they're smarter than everyone else. And Chris Sullivan has the details and maybe some of the most creative excuses that troopers have heard this week. As always, we invite you to join us on our KIRO News Radio text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Also, a shout out to all of you who are watching us from YouTube. We sure appreciate you, and we hopefully will have some kind of update here on reopening our messages over there as well. But again, we've got a lot of news for you, so we're going to get right to it. Our top stories brought to you by Bathfitter Northwest. And we do have an update now on a story we first broke on the show yesterday. If you haven't already turned in your ballot for Tuesday's election, do not mail it in. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has now spoken with local elections officials about why they're giving this advice now and what you can do to make sure that your ballot is counted.
Yeah, all great points. You know, for the first time, and we talked about this a little bit outside the studio,
yes.
You've covered a lot of elections.
Yes.
I have too.
Never had to say this advice.
Yeah, incredible. For the first time, we're seeing votes not being counted because of new operational changes at the U.S. Postal Service. There's no longer any guarantee that any of our mail-in ballots will be stamped and postmarked the same day the Postal Service takes possession of it. Those are the changes right there. Haley Watkins with King County Elections told me they recently saw the impact during the August primary. A lot of ballots did not get counted. Voters mailed their ballots in on time, but they weren't postmarked in time. And she also tells me this. Listen to this. Even if you physically go into a post office and hand your ballot to someone at the post office, say, here you go, there's still no guarantee.
Folks at this point should really go ahead and use that drop box. If they want to mail it, physically walk it into a post office and ask somebody at the counter to stamp it for you, because you are not guaranteed a postmark on the same day that you drop your ballot in the mail.
Listen to that advice. If you go into the post office, ask to see someone, hey, can you stamp this in front of me so I can see that you postmarked it?
Okay, first of all, I'm just going to say this is outrageous. This is outrageous when you're talking about a situation where we currently have an administration that is not in favor of mail-in balloting, first of all. You said this is something new. What is the Postal Service's reasoning for why this change?
Well, it's costs. Everything comes down to money, right? I mean, the Postal Service, as we all know, has been deficit spending for a long, long time. They're projecting a $6.9 billion loss this current fiscal year. So they have changed the way they do a lot of things. And this issue, you know, I know a lot of people are going to run with this politically because that's the natural thing that a lot of people go to and they think about. These are policy changes under a certain administration, sure. But, you know, think about this as well. This is going to affect people in rural areas more than cities because the Postal Service has been planning to end afternoon mail pickups that are at places that are further away from regional hubs. Where are those regional hubs? closer to cities because they have a lot more mail to collect. So they're not going out to rural areas as much anymore. And then when it comes to anything, letters and packages and anything, if you go to the post office, they'll take it fine, but that doesn't mean it's going to get postmarked. It could take days for it to get postmarked, and that's what counts. It's got to be postmarked, your ballot does, in order for it to count.
By 8 p.m. on Tuesday night.
Right.
Do we have any indication of how many ballots in the primary were not counted? And in this election, will people be able to check to see if their ballot was indeed counted?
Many, multiple. An exact number, no. And that's because King County and both Pierce County, who I talked with yesterday, they had heard of as a review process of all the counties, and they kind of go through the day. What happened this election? What can we change? What can we do different? That's normal process. And in that process, kind of like an audit, they heard about these stories from different locations, rural counties in Washington State, where votes were not counted because people mailed it in or put it in their mailbox at the end of their driveway, thinking, okay, all right, I voted, awesome. Nope, not the case. And people don't know that this is happening.
Okay, and we only stumbled upon this yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it was
right.
a story that was in the Spokesman Review, and in fact, before we even put it on the air, we're like, we need to make sure and get a hold of the Secretary of State to find out, is this in fact something that's not just affecting Spokane, but affecting all of us? Now, again, and I beg of everybody not to let this distract you or deter you from voting, no matter how you vote. It's now we're just telling you need, if you still haven't turned it in already, you need to actually drop it off into the ballot box.
Fine.
They're not even, unless you can guarantee that you go to a post office, like your neighborhood post office. Let's say my neighborhood post office in Wedgwood, and they can show me, here's your post.
Exactly. Get it stamped, get it postmarked and stamped in front of you, or find a ballot box. And that's guidance from the Secretary of State, Steve Hobbs. That's the guidance now from King County as well. There's also this, if people are going to run with this narrative either way in every direction, right? The elections official from Pierce County told me this, though. Bottom line is, no matter what, you are responsible. If you want your vote to count and mail in ballot, you are the one responsible to get that thing counted. And so that either is, like you said, mail in and make sure it's stamped in front of you, or get it to a ballot box. So where is your ballot box? I've got a master list of all the ballot boxes on mynorthwest.com. Just go look for my story on there, and I've got a link to it.
Just a quick comment on this. I am infuriated at the post office. Mm-hmm. Their prime obligation is to deliver the mail. They have shifted a lot of their focus to package delivery. They do last mile for Amazon and all the online retailers. It is ridiculous that ballots would be a low priority for them because, oh gosh, we have to go out to rural areas. That is your job. And that is also the reason why we should not expect the post office to be turning a profit, is because they have to go places that UPS and FedEx do not. They have an obligation to provide this service. Second, the fact that we have not heard about this from the Secretary of State or elections officials is inexcusable.
It is.
I understand the fear because they are likely worried that there's going to be a narrative that mail-in voting is not reliable if we let this message out. But you only feed conspiracy theories when you attempt to hide it. And all it takes is 10, 12 people who go to the media and say, my ballot wasn't counted. I mailed it in 5 days before the election. It was not counted. Washington mail-in voting is broken. And then you have this narrative.
Right. There is a way, though, to check to make sure, and it's a link, and we should share that because, again, I don't want to add to any kind of speculation, any sort of fear, any sort of anything other than, hey, just to make sure that you get counted, and we just want to make sure that that right now the best way to do that is to go directly to the ballot box, which you said you have now a list on mynorthwest.com.
That's right.
That's great. Thank you so much, Luke.
You bet. Absolutely.
With the clock running out on Snap, hundreds of people lined up at an emergency drive-through food bank at the Tacoma Dome yesterday.
This don't make no sense. Everything is going to be out of control next month, and I hate to see it.
Now, organizers had planned for about 400 families, but more than 900 showed up.
Families waiting sometimes for hours to put food on the table as we see SNAP and other food assistance programs being cut because of the government shutdown. The event is sponsored by Eloise's Cooking Pot Food Bank. President Andrea Blue says they are helping people now they've never helped before.
They've driven across other counties, from Olympia, from Kitsap County, from Seattle, to come get food at this distribution.
Each car gets a box of food with 9 meals plus fresh vegetables and a protein. In Tacoma, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Now, as we have reported this week, Governor Ferguson pledged $2.2 million a week to help food banks stay afloat while the federal food benefits are frozen during the shutdown. But what happened yesterday at the Tacoma Dome is, I think, just a hint of what we're going to see.
It's an eye-opener, and this is intentional. Think about that for a sec. This is intentional. In the USDA's own charter, it says that contingency funds during a shutdown can be used to fund food stamps and SNAP benefits. That is not happening.
Yeah. If there was a will, there is a way.
Exactly. And this is why it's so heartbreaking, Ursula. I mean, how are you feeling? Like, what's your frustration level knowing that there's this much need and it's being intentionally withheld?
Well, I feel like it's cruel. And I once again feel like it has people attacking each other over their viewpoints, over, who is getting SNAP and who is abusing it. And, these people are... Who can deny that there are children who are going to be going hungry because they are not going to get these benefits? I mean, I don't care. And why are we paying so much attention to what is going into someone's grocery cart? I can't even think of the last time I paid attention to what was in someone's food basket in front of me and getting upset about what they're putting in that food basket. But I do want to say this, because over the last few weeks, we have spent a lot of energy being angry,
yeah,
rightfully so, about how the most vulnerable among us are being treated, while, as we have pointed out, the rich just keep getting richer. And it's hard. You said, how do you feel about it? It's hard not to feel the cruelty of it, the ignorance of people who assume anyone on SNAP is lazy or cheating or doesn't deserve the help or is obese. Meanwhile, Congress still hasn't. Have we heard any news in terms of
Still
any
not
sort of
reconvening?
negotiating?
No.
Okay. So instead of focusing on that, today I'm hoping we can focus on what you and I can do, because there is something that you and I can do right now. Someone just texted in and said, I'm on my way to the grocery store and I want to find that. And this listener said, I am going to do something to help with the food banks. Before I turned on the mic this morning, I went onto Northwest Harvest's website and I made a donation. If you are in a position to help, make a donation to your local food bank. We have posted links to some of the most effective organizations here in Washington on our Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page.
Yeah.
If you can't give money, and a lot of people are really struggling right now, perhaps you can give time. Maybe your church is organizing a drive or a volunteer shift, because now is the time to step up. I reached out. Thanksgiving is going to be a little different for us this year because one son is out of the country and my parents are no longer alive and our families are a little scattered. And I just asked my oldest son and my husband if maybe we could spend some time volunteering at a food bank and see if we can do something there.
That's a fantastic idea. And there's a lot of things that you can do. One of my neighbors, her name is Lori. Year-round, she keeps big bins in her front yard, and she'll put up signs that say, collecting for the Edmonds Food Bank for, the Apple Cup, whatever event it is. You can always put a sign up in your neighborhood. There's a lot of people who won't make it to a food bank to donate. They might not think about it, but hey, if they're just a couple houses down the street from you, got some stuff in your pantry, just reach out and help folks as much as you can.
Well, and maybe it's a neighbor. Maybe
Right.
it's an elderly neighbor or a disabled neighbor that is really hurting right now, because I think what creates so much anger too is this feeling of futility. Like, I can't do anything. Like, what can I do right now to address this situation? And I think I think I would love it if we could share more of the stories. Kirk in Mount Vernon just said, yep, I just volunteered down at mine down the road. And there are amazing people here who are hearing about what's going on and like, you know what, that's unacceptable and I'm going to do something. And so I love that. Share your stories with us, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. So protesters showed up in Seattle this week to give Waymo a not-so-warm welcome.
This today is really just the beginning of a bunch of noise that we're ready to make. Hell no! To say hell no to Waymo. Hell no! Waymo! Hell no!
Okay, for those of you who don't know what Waymo is, it's a self-driving car company. They're back testing vehicles on local roads, and a lot of drivers are worried, specifically many Uber and Lyft drivers, especially immigrants, telling King 5 News they can't afford to lose those jobs.
We're working hard to support our family, but they're trying to take our job away.
And right now, Waymo's cars still have human specialists behind the wheel. They're just gathering data on Seattle traffic and weather. But the company has already indicated they plan to go fully driverless once they get approval. And they are insisting that their cars are safer than human drivers. I will point out that federal safety officials are investigating after one car reportedly rolled past a stopped school bus. So when you saw this story, what were your thoughts?
I thought good for the drivers. Good for the drivers. Waymo says their drivers are safer. I haven't seen an epidemic of fatal rideshare injuries or crashes. Usually they're not traveling at great speed unless it's on the freeway from the airport. And here's the deal. It's also 35% more expensive. As a consumer, you do have some agency in this. You have the option, or you will have the option, to either choose a human driver that's trying to feed their kids, or paying nearly 40% more so that you can stuff more money in the pockets of Sergey Brin and the stockholders of Alphabet, right?
Yeah, I am never going to be that person that gets into a self-driving car. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen in my lifetime. That's not.
You would not take. Wait.
Yeah.
So if Gee said, "Get in the car," I'm gonna let it take us down the street, you would not do that.
Yeah, Gee has not invited me into his car yet, and I would hope that he does not do it driverless. Probably not.
Really?
Yeah, that's just not something I'm interested in, and it's not something that. I would not get into a car when there's no driver.
Mm-hmm.
However, what is the trend that is happening right now? I mean, just the last couple of days, we've been talking about AI snatching all these jobs, right? Thousands of jobs. And it seems like every wave of innovation ends up hurting. And do you remember when Uber and Lyft came onto the scene?
I do.
Who was hacked off?
It was the rideshare drivers.
No, it was the taxi drivers.
I'm sorry, the taxi drivers. Yeah.
Yeah, taxi drivers were like, and they did lose fares. They also, I just was reminded about it. In New York, remember those taxi medallions that would sell for over $1 million? Yep. They dropped to less than $200,000 because it just lost value. Thousands of drivers ended up in debt and had to walk away from their jobs. Now it's the Uber and Lyft drivers going, wait a minute, we're going to be replaced by Waymo.
Remember how cheap Uber was when it first came out because it was being subsidized by venture capital to undercut taxi driver rates? And now it's way expensive. I can't wait for the day in which a service that currently costs 40% more than human drivers eviscerates the human driver market. And then how much are we going to pay? It's a double lose, folks.
Yeah. I mean, and I will say that there are times, this last time I gave when I was leaving SeaTac Airport, I looked at how much it would be to Uber, and it was almost twice what it would be for a cab. So I took a cab.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Choose the humans, not the corporations.
Okay, still ahead, how is the enforcement for those HOV cheaters on Highway 167 going? Chris Sullivan is going to join us next. And then coming up at 9:47, we're going to have some fun because have you ever been stuck on hold for a long time and you're like, who on earth picked this annoying music? Well, there's some on-hold music that is gaining millions and millions of fans. We'll tell you about that next on the Gee and Ursula Show.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Touchdown, Seahawks! Steve Rabel made the catch.
Number 96, Cortez Kennedy. He was as wide as he was tall, and he was in the backfield, terrorizing quarterbacks and throwing them to the ground, and wrapping up running backs and throwing them to the ground before they knew what hit them.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
If you have Medicaid and are new to Medicare, you may qualify to enroll in a Humana Medicare Advantage dual-eligible special needs plan with a lot more benefits, like dental, vision, and hearing, along with helpful support when you need it most. Now is the time to see if you qualify to enroll. It only takes a few minutes to find out if you're eligible. Our licensed sales agents are ready to help you understand your options. So this Medicare planning season, we can help you plan well. Learn more at humanaduals.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a dual-eligible special needs HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the state Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Free consultations, no-fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. I'm so excited to have my cousin Amelia with me today. So I saw that you visited the baby chicks.
I got to hold 7 of them. They were so cute.
Do you know why Wilcox chickens are so happy?
Because they get to play outside?
Yes.
Happy chickens are healthy chickens.
From our farm to your table, Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh
since 1909.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now, the company's changed. Or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So, what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300, 206-656-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Tired of uneven heating, noisy systems, and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings with every system, and every system qualifies for max tax credits. Call the Comfort People at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. Our Go the Extra Mile service means more hustle, less hassle. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the road you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included with every tire we sell. We're talking more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's why you get more from less. Book an appointment at leschwab.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson today calling out Seattle's mayoral race as he criticized New York City's candidate for mayor, Zohran Mamdani. Johnson claiming the Democratic Party has been taken over by Marxist socialists.
New York is just the tip of the iceberg. It's not isolated to America's largest city. It's other cities as well. Look at Seattle, where the leading candidate for mayor is an open socialist. Look at Minneapolis, where the sitting socialist mayor is facing a challenge from his left flank.
Recent polls give Katie Wilson a slight edge over incumbent Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell. The general election is this Tuesday, and Washington Secretary of State says at this point, don't count on the post office to get your ballot officially in on time.
King County's Haley Watkins says new Postal Service postmark standards meant multiple ballots in rural Washington counties did not get counted in the recent primary.
You are not guaranteed a postmark on the same day that you drop your ballot in the mail.
She and Pierce County elections official Kyle Hogg both agree with Secretary Steve Hobbs. Find a ballot box instead of the Postal Service.
That's why we provide them. They're a great source.
Election Day is November 4th. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
The U.S. Senate will vote for a 15th time today on a short-term spending plan to reopen the government. Democrats have refused to pass any plan that does not extend tax credits credited with keeping health premiums lower for millions. Washington U.S. Senator Patty Murray moments ago.
And we're not going to stop demanding they join us at the table and work on actually solving this and reopening the government as soon as possible.
Due to the government shutdown, money for SNAP food benefits will run out this weekend. Hundreds of families lined up at an emergency pop-up food bank at the Tacoma Dome yesterday. Parents like Ernestine Wiggins are worried.
This don't make no sense. Everything is going to be out of control next month, and I hate to see it.
The event was sponsored by Eloise Food Bank. The people of Jamaica are going to need assistance in the wake of Category 5 Hurricane Melissa, which hit the island nation this week.
Roof has gone. Clothes has wet up. I need some help. Please, I need some help.
Nearly 80% of Jamaica is without power. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 262 points, NASDAQ down 177. KIRO News Radio traffic. A crash is blocking all lanes now on the 520 bridge westbound at Montlake. You are jammed up all the way across the lake. A crash is now also blocking a lane on the I-90 bridge westbound. Travel time Bellevue to Seattle on I-90 is 20 minutes and expected to grow. Other travel times, Everett to Seattle, 37 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 66. Renton to Bellevue, 47. Traffic brought to you by KIRO News Radio. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy skies with highs in the mid-50s. It's 46 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
I'm their conduit, and I'm glad to do it.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. When I hear that intro, I just cannot help but smile. Sully is here, and we are going to talk about Highway 167.
Don't you guys play more hair metal during the rest of your show?
No, this is solely for you.
This is a solely exclusive on this show.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was heavy metal hair bands.
No,
okay.
We want to make sure that you've actually heard the music that we intro you with.
Good call. By the way, that is Rat, I believe, Round and Round.
There you go. Okay, but what we want to do is how the State Patrol is cracking down on HOV cheaters on 167, or are they?
Well, yes, and that's the thing. We've had the new tolling equipment working in effect since the 20th, so it's been about 2 weeks. And so before it happened, I went to the State Patrol to kind of talk about how they enforce it, because this is a new corridor, new system for a lot of people, and they have a lot of questions about how they enforce it. How can they catch people? How do they really do it there? Because and to dispel some of the myths that are out there. And number one is, it's pretty. If you've never used a toll lane like 405 and now 167, when you go under the tolling equipment, it flashes. Blue, you're charged a toll. White, HOV. So that's one way. There's a visual cue for state troopers to see. So if they see a white light and see you driving in the car and no one in the passenger seat, they'll be like, well, that person has it flipped to HOV, but I only see one driver. So perhaps I could pull that person over for violating the HOV. So there's a flash. On the Flex Pass itself, there are different colors. When it's in HOV, it's red. When it's on toll, it's white. So there's a visual cue you can use, troopers can use there. Very difficult to see, especially at speed. Definitely at
it's
night.
not very big.
No, not at all. So there are two kind of visual cues they go with for pulling people over. And again, in some instances, a lot of cases, they pull people over, and maybe you have kids in the back or that meet the requirement, and then on your way, there are no thermal imaging cameras, that check for heat and see how many people are in the cars. That doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. They just take pictures of the license plate, but they also identify what your pass is in, is whether it's HOV or not.
Yeah.
And so that's a little different for people who've never used it. So that's what those flashing lights above you mean.
Is it? I mean, State Patrol is busy. Is it a priority?
Yeah, it's something that they have a decent side of money to, that they use to enforce HOV rules, not just on 167 or 405, but everywhere there's an HOV lane. Now the thing is it's very hard to enforce during the morning and afternoon commutes, because a lot of the time the troopers that are out there are responding to crashes, which take a priority over enforcement. That's why they do HOV emphasis patrols, and I'm sure they're going to be doing ETL emphasis patrols, where they dedicate a unit for a day or for certain hours a day on different routes to specifically look for that. And the State Patrol's like, yeah, people say we don't patrol, we do, but it's difficult during those most busy times because they're out doing little higher priority things. But they do enforce. There certainly aren't enough bodies out there for them to enforce, maybe I think the way we'd like to see them.
But Chris, I mean, the bottom line is 99 out of 100 days, unless there's a state trooper on the highway that's parked there, you're not going to get checked. And if it's during commute times, which is actually when you want to enforce that law, it makes it relatively impossible. It strikes me that we could do a couple different things here in Washington State. So first of all, down in the Bay Area, they use in-lane occupancy sensors at on-ramps. They take not heat maps, but infrared images of whoever's in the car to check for that. The second thing is we require all tickets to be issued and reviewed by a sworn law enforcement officer. Like, it strikes me that a program of, say, randomly parked toll audit vehicles that can check, you have someone in the car, they issue the citation, right? They've got the evidence. That program would pay for itself in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I mean, these are all decisions made by the legislature. If that technology is available in California, the only thing that would be keeping it from being deployed in Washington would be money and the legislature to use those funds for that. And so far they haven't. And the state law requires that an officer review that. Again, that would take a legislative change to do it. Because one of the things about HOV enforcement and HOV violations is, well, a lot of people say it's not that big of a deal, whatever.
Yeah, what are the excuses that people use? Because I remember someone who actually used to work here who would say it's part of the cost of doing business.
Well, I know a couple of people who still work here who feel that. But let me just tell you that before we get to that is that HOV, while it may not seem like a big deal, it's one of the leading causes of road rage, according to State Patrol. I heard they say it may not be a safety infraction, but it's an inciting type of thing, because there was every day I get people talking primarily of people who violate the HOV on-ramps past ramp meters all the time. And it makes people mad when you're stuck doing the right thing and they see people cheating. A lot of times, maybe if you've been pushed to the limit, you take that to the next level and it leads to road rage. Anytime
Strongly discouraged.
Yeah, definitely. And so that's one of the things that goes along with HOV violating specifically is it gets people's blood boiling. So
were they able to give you a number just in these first 10 days?
Not yet. No, they're still working. I mean, it's only been active since the 20th. Rick Johnson, state trooper, trying to get me some preliminary numbers on that.
Yeah. But would they be able to, because I remember the numbers you told us of the people who were not
about
paying.
84%.
Yeah, like there were only 16% who were actually paying for how many years?
For 17 years. Because of the way the system worked.
Chris,
I mean, that's just
let me play devil's advocate for a minute, though. It is infuriating when there's 20 cars waiting to get on the freeway, someone blows by you, and they just cut 8 minutes out of their commute, right? That's infuriating. That would be solved by the system in California. But as a driver in the all-purpose lanes, should I really get that mad about somebody in the carpool lanes because technically they're removing capacity from the lanes that I'm in?
Technically, I mean, I don't know why people get fired up about a lot of things like that, but for some reason this is a hot button one for a lot of drivers. I don't understand getting mad at people who do bad things or dumb things on the road or are cheating. It doesn't really impact me, but I'm not sure of an answer to that.
Have you seen what's going on in the world right now?
Yeah.
What's going on in this country?
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who see what other people are doing and get upset about it.
Yeah, well, we've kind of lost our minds over the last 25 years in this country. But anyway, I want to give you a couple of quick excuses. I know I hear the music. As you saw yesterday, and we posted at mynorthwest.com, A for effort, an HOV violator got pulled over with a full skeleton in his passenger seat.
No.
Yeah, we posted at mynorthwest.com, A for effort and A for timing.
It is Halloween.
But yeah, that's a ticket plus an enhancement for using a device to kind of throw off a trooper. The number one excuse they hear from 405 for not flexing the passes or flipping the flex passes. Oh, I forgot. That's not really going to work. Most people are just like, they're just too many excuses to come up with, but primarily it's a lot of times I didn't know it was 3 versus 2 because we do have now changes in the requirements.
How about if you get caught twice, they just ban your license plate from the HOV lanes, and every time you go through there, you get dinged?
Well, that's possible. I mean, the max fine is about $536, I think, but that's only after multiples and with enhancements like using dummies and things like that in a short period of time.
Yeah.
So don't do it.
It's a costly mistake. If you get busted,
it's $186 on their first attempt.
Yeah.
But again, there are people in this building who say it's just a cost of doing business.
Really? Okay.
And yes, and I'm not holier than thou. I've used the HOV lane to pass left lane campers at 4 o'clock in the morning when there are 20 of them lined up in the left lane. I'm not holier than thou. But yeah, not good.
Sully, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, still ahead. What is the most annoying thing that you hear when you are put on hold? And then what is the best thing that you've ever heard? Because for a bunch of people, there is some music that has them Googling and trying to find out who is the musician behind it. And we'll give you that answer coming up next on the Gee and Ursula Show.
The Jake and Spike Show.
I love this guy. Holy sweet smell Fabrizi.
Weekdays noon to 3.
Shut up. It's a real name. I swear to you. His last name's Fabrizi.
Do you like Febreze?
I don't like fake smells.
The problem that I have with it, now that I have babies, and babies are constantly like putting their face all over everything, you might as well just go spray your baby.
And you know how kids get on couches when they're little? Face first.
That's right.
They plant their face, use that as a pivot point.
Kids stink all the time. So if anybody could use Febreze, it'd be a kid because they smell so bad.
Watch the Jake and Spike Show live on YouTube.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included. for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at Xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions. 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Jim Singletary here, Chief Roof Nerd at RoofSmart, where we're not afraid to tell you no. Looking for a roofing company that'll do cheap, fast work and just cover up the problem? No, that's not us. Want a quick quote without a real inspection? Nope. Just want a price without knowing your options? Not happening. Look, we don't want to tell you no, but if saying yes means cut corners, bad results, or wasted money, we won't do it. Period. And here's the deal. Seattle gets 150 rainy days a year. That's not wait and see weather, it's call RoofSmart now weather. We say no to leaky roofs, sloppy work, and bad estimates, and yes to thorough inspections, accurate quotes, and top quality work that actually lasts. So if you want an honest roofer who's not afraid to say no to bad work, call RoofSmart today at 206-487-4877 or visit GetRoofSmart.com. That's 206-487-4877 or GetRoofSmart.com.
Are you looking at senior living options for you or a loved one? If so, you likely have many questions like, what can I afford? How long will my savings last? And if I run out of money, will I have to move out? If these questions are weighing on you, I'm here to talk you through different solutions. Hi, I'm Amanda from Care Partners Senior Living. At Care Partners, we're focused on offering high-quality, compassionate care at very affordable prices to help stretch and preserve your assets. And if you ever run out of funds and need to convert to Medicaid, you won't have to move. We have vibrant communities throughout Western Washington, Spokane, and Arizona offering independent, assisted living, and memory care. Our caregivers are some of the most loving and genuine people you'll ever meet. Stretch your assets, preserve your estate, and never worry about moving. That's peace of mind in the Care Partners Living difference. Learn more at carepartnersliving.com. Care Partners is excited to announce our newest communities in Port Orchard, Sumner, Snohomish, and North Creek Bothell. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Gee is out today. Chef and I are keeping you company this morning. And I just want to tell you that if you are planning to make a call to the Social Security Administration, or maybe you've done that already and you know you're probably going to be on hold for over an hour. That's the average, sometimes even longer. But while you wait, you're going to hear a 5-minute loop of recorded messages and actually some surprisingly pleasant hold music.
Well, this just got a different feel to it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's very intentional. Let me think of it. Look at this. Try to figure out the beats per minute, all that. Well, this tune actually has become a quiet obsession for many callers. They have gone online hunting for it, and what they found is an actual song. Throw Yourself in Front of It by East Harlem musician David Delisio. So this guy wrote it nearly 20 years ago as a call to action. Basically, he said to stop waiting and move forward in life. So imagine his surprise when he discovered that it has now become the national soundtrack for being stuck on hold.
Career goals, right, as a musician?
I love it. So he told reporters that when he wrote it, he felt trapped. And he felt like he had lost his free will and someone was handing him a lollipop. And now, I just want to hear, it actually calms me. He admits there's something poetic about it. Millions of frustrated callers listening to a song about finding clarity and moving on while waiting for the government to finally pick up.
Stuck, huh? He felt stuck?
Okay, and you were saying, hey, this has a different... The hold music is not to entertain you. It's basically to keep you from hanging up.
To calm the ever-escalating sense of rage that builds as every minute passes.
Yeah, but there are some things, and I'm curious as to, I know you had this when you were trying to deal with pharmacies recently. Like, what are some of the most annoying things that you hear when you're on hold?
Okay, so Walgreens is the worst. I'm going to call you out, Walgreens, because it's actually like a 20-second loop. The music is completely disjointed. Every 5 seconds, they say, your call is important to us.
Oh, that's the
if
worst.
you would like to see our hours, go to the website. If you need a vaccine, and this just goes, and then they go, you are the 4th caller in line. If you need store hours, it's constant.
I know.
And you have to deal with it for half an hour. Minimum.
The other thing, too, is when they keep rolling that, press 1, then press 2.
Yes.
And then you're like, I don't know how many times I've ended up screaming, even though I know there's no one on the other side of it. Okay, the other one is your estimated wait time is 3 hours and 12 minutes.
See, I feel like I don't know if you've ever been into a busy restaurant where the hostess tells you it's going to be probably an hour and a half before you can get a table. That's a lie. That's the hostess telling you, I'm overwhelmed right now, and if I give you an impossible sounding period of time, you'll just give up.
Yes.
I feel like that's what most hold operations are there for, is to get you to just give up.
Yes.
Because then they don't have to deal with you.
Would you rather hear what they say the estimated time is, or would you rather them say nothing and you just keep hearing the loop? Or what some have done is now we can call you back.
We can call you back is great.
Yeah.
I like that because at least at my pharmacy, if you sit on hold for too long, they just hang up on you. I'm not kidding. Just click 45 minutes, click, hang up. I mean, you've had to deal with Social Security, though. What was your experience like?
Okay, and shout out to people who work for the Social Security Administration, because I know you deal with a lot of people who are very frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was trying to help my mom because we couldn't figure out where, after my dad died, where her benefits were going. And she, I was having to help fund her while she was waiting for Social
Survivor's
Security.
benefits,
Social Security to kick in. And first of all, it was we were still with some pandemic-related closures and restrictions, et cetera. And then when I would get on hold, you'd just be waiting forever. And then they would say, no, this is something that you need to actually physically go into the office for. Then you'd go there and they'd say, no, you're still missing this. I mean, I just felt like it was so frustrating. when we finally got someone who could help us, and then we realized it was actually an error that my mom had made.
Well,
we finally figured it
but
out.
there should still be somebody to
yes.
help you through that process. Can we just get back to the whole service part of customer service?
Well, that's going bye-bye. I mean, people are basically getting removed even from these call centers, and it is all being replaced by AI. Okay, I'm kind of digging the music though right now.
You know what? I've needed something calm in my life all week long. Gee's been like a firecracker all week. He's off today, of course.
But one of the things that, like, sometimes the music, they got to listen to, and I think it should be required that every company that puts you on hold needs to experience it themselves. They need to go in there and see, like, what is my experience going through this process? Because so often the music's too loud or too tinny. But one of the reasons that this is so great is because it's calming. It is this loop. It's a slower, beats per minute.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
It's like the telephone equivalent of the green paint on the walls in, the prisons to keep people calm.
Exactly.
I don't know if it works.
Still ahead, we will have a guest joining us. Is downtown Seattle better than it was 4 years ago? We have a business owner who's going to join us next here on the Gee and Ursula Show.
For the news you trust.
Breaking news we are getting.
Experience matters.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo.
James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Good morning. I'm Heather Bosch.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
We're on YouTube, our app, and 97.3 FM.
Announcing the Royal Corgis.
What have you done?
I wired pounds to London to buy Royal Corgis.
You went to the bank to wire money for Royal Corgis?
That means yes.
You are so dumb. Banks are slow and they hide all kinds of fees and transfers.
Those mutts.
If you want to send money overseas, use Wise. It's faster and never hides fees. Oh, they're fighting, just like the real royal family.
You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
All right, here's a quick confession. The reason Nick, my wife, is going to Longevity Medical Clinic is because why?
I got sick of watching you sleep at night when I was awake.
Wait a minute. Wait. Here's what would happen. I'd be asleep because I've got my hormones balanced thanks to Longevity Medical Clinic. I'm asleep, and then Nick would go, "Are you asleep? Are you sleeping? That's not fair. I can't sleep." I'm like, "So you're going to wake me up?"
Yes, because I didn't want you to have more energy than I would the next day, and I was up all night.
So what did I say to you? I said, so go to the Longevity Medical Clinic. Do the same thing I did. Get your hormones balanced. You'll sleep better, right?
And I did.
Right. You don't have to wake me up anymore and go, it's not fair that you're sleeping.
I know.
But didn't you see that it wasn't fair that you were waking me up?
Yes, because now you're the one taking the dogs out because I'm still asleep in the morning.
So we're both getting good night's sleep. We're both getting lots of energy, and we're happy.
You want me to tell you why? Because my hormones are now balanced.
Okay, I don't want to hear about your hormones right now. So be like Nick and get a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. Our local tax expert Greg Nunn wants taxpayers to know the IRS is now going after older cases very aggressively. If you received Form CP-504 from the IRS, do not ignore it. Be proactive and resolve your situation with Greg Nunn, N-U-N-N, None Better Tax Resolution.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO-FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. Massachusetts is seeking a court order to force the Trump administration to continue funding SNAP benefits.
Those benefits are due to become a victim of the government shutdown Saturday. Governor Maura Healey says the USDA is sitting on a $23 billion contingency fund that should be used to keep SNAP benefits flowing, as has been done in past shutdowns.
This president has made a decision to not provide those funds.
In the meantime, Massachusetts will try to meet some of the need.
As a state, we are going to advance $4 million to our food banks, which support over 800 community organizations around the state.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Jamaica's prime minister says some hurricane-ravaged towns in his country will need weeks, perhaps months, to get back on their feet. CBS's Jason Allen.
This morning, the people of Jamaica are picking up the pieces after Hurricane Melissa, as nearly 80% of the island nation still doesn't have power.
A roof has gone, clothes has wet up. I need some help. Please, I need some help.
The storm's now a Category 2 heading toward Bermuda. President Trump says his meeting today with China's President Xi was a big success. He says the country's eased off on the trade war. CBS's Kelly O'Grady says that means good things for companies that rely on rare earth materials from China.
Ensuring that they have access to that it's not going to need an export license for a product coming from China that uses rare earth resources to come to the U.S., that would be a big win.
And Trump says China's agreed to resume buying American soybeans. The Pentagon has ordered the National Guards of all 50 states to form quick reaction forces. And there's word the Trump administration is slashing refugee admissions to 7,500 a year, making them mostly white South Africans. In Paris, CBS's Holly Williams tells us a total of 7 suspects in the Louvre jewel heist are in custody. She spoke to a prosecutor.
Is the mastermind still at large?
We do not exclude the possibility of a larger group, the prosecutor told us, with a person who ordered the heist and who's the receiver of the stolen jewels.
From Detroit, WWJ reporter Jeff Gilbert's on Honda auto trouble.
2023 and 24 model year Honda pilots could have an issue with a warning light that could incorrectly alert drivers about the use of rear passenger seatbelts. It's a different issue for 2018 to 22 model year Odyssey minivans. There have been reports that some side airbags deployed when the vehicles hit a pothole.
And checking Wall Street, right now the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 146 points. The S&P and NASDAQ are trading lower. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive. See why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive to stay protected on the road. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
Newly released surveillance video on an attack at a spa. The story coming up, but first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. The crash has been cleared from the 520 bridge westbound at Mountain Lake. Travel time Bellevue to Seattle on the 520 is still 46 minutes, half an hour longer than usual. The crash has also been cleared from the I-90 bridge westbound. Travel time Bellevue to Seattle on I-90 is 28 minutes. That's about 15 longer than typical. Other travel times pretty much on the mark. Traffic brought to you by Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Newly released surveillance video shows the moment 2 workers at an Edmond spa were brutally attacked in September. Police say the suspect, Colin Frederick Boswell, barged into Ava Spa Massage on Edmonds Way and began beating them. Property manager Daniel Mann tells KIRO 7 TV one of the victims ran to his nearby business for help.
He was trying to kill them, and he didn't succeed, so they're really lucky that they're alive.
Boswell is in jail facing attempted murder charges. 2 people have died after a standoff with a Tacoma SWAT team. Tacoma police are giving more details now about a call they got October 17th. There was a domestic dispute at a residence in the 700 block of South 38th Street. Police say they negotiated for several hours with people inside the home. Around 1 a.m., they entered and found a man and woman who'd been shot. Despite life-saving measures, they passed away. This is being investigated as a murder-suicide. Microsoft's Azure cloud services are working again after an 8-hour worldwide outage yesterday. The company says the outage was triggered by an inadvertent configuration change. What does that mean, CBS Tech contributor Ian Schur?
So that suggests that they were going through some sort of a software update or changing some sort of feature, and that's what caused all of this to get broken.
To fix it, Microsoft basically put everything back together the way it was. Washington State is wrapping up a typical wildfire season, but trouble is looming if the state does not fully fund firefighting. That's according to Lands Commissioner Dave Upthegrove, who insists
if we can prevent or reduce the size of 1 or 2 large fires, this will more than pay for itself.
The legislature spent less on wildfire fighting and prevention this year than it had committed to under a bill passed after the deadly 2020 fire season. Now, supporters suggest money from the Climate Commitment Act should be used to fight fires. A popular local pizza chain confirms it's shutting down nearly all of its restaurants. The Rockwood Fired Pizza is closing 6 out of 7 locations. That includes Renton, Tacoma, and Puyallup. Co-founder Don Bella says rising costs and rent make it hard to stay in business. They're still leaving their Auburn restaurant open. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy skies with highs in the mid-50s. It's 46 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Good morning and happy Thursday to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Gee and Ursula Show. It is already October 30th. Tomorrow is Halloween. Are you ready? Text us if you are planning to dress up for Halloween. I'm not, or at least as of right now, I don't think I am. I could, at the very last minute, Chef.
Decide you have the energy?
Decide I do have the energy, but right now, I just don't.
Well, I'm going as a skeleton. The problem is tomorrow's going to be raining.
Yeah, I
know.
So
I feel like Halloween gets short shrift here in Western Washington because who can see your costume when you've got a jacket on, umbrella, hood up?
But
I remember so many of those Halloweens.
I remember so many of the Halloweens where my kids would want to go in practically. I thought it was nothing. It's like, yeah, you need to put the jacket on, but then it's like that spoils all the fun.
Yes.
Okay, so text us. We would love to also see your Halloween outfits or maybe your kids' Halloween outfits. So text us at 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Just because we're not in the Halloween spirit doesn't mean you shouldn't be. Also, just a reminder that we will need to turn our clocks back on Sunday morning. So that is happening as well. Then we get into the big dark. This is the Gee and Ursula Show, and let's get going.
What's new at 10?
So there is an election on Tuesday, just a reminder, and the latest poll from the Northwest Progressive Institute this week finds that 45% of those surveyed say they would actually back Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell's challenger, Katie Wilson, while 40% say they are going to stick with the incumbent. Another 11% remain undecided, and 4% say they wouldn't vote at all. And one of the biggest criticisms that we hear over and over again is that things are not better in Seattle. Even though there are statistics that show that the most violent crimes are down, we still have problems with property crime, et cetera. There's still a lot of drug use. There's still a lot of... So we hear it, but we don't hear enough from actual business owners who work downtown. And I just want to remind everybody that 3 years ago, a downtown business owner and one of our most loyal listeners called out Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell and his administration for the rampant drug use and crime that took over during the pandemic.
Every day I was seeing progress until last week. They cleaned the Jackson and 12. And it's just so bad. It's awful down here right now. I don't see any officers. Where are our officers? Chief, yes, where are you to come? You need to come and see what's going on downtown.
That is Layla Faraj. She owns a Euro shop near Westlake Center. And Layla actually joins us right now. Good morning.
Good morning, Ursula.
Okay.
Good morning, Chef.
So we want to know, Layla, straight from you, what have you seen since 3 years ago when you were on our show and you were saying it is bad down here? What have you seen in these past couple of years?
There is no comparison right now, Ursula. It's so calm. It's so clean. I don't see anybody doing drugs, no shoplifting, and then they set up shop in front of the same store. They stole goods and they're selling it to feed their drug addiction. None of those are you'd see. No tent. You do not see any tents in downtown Seattle.
Okay, so just for people to know, where is so you own Euro's Place, like I said, across from Westlake Center, and it's very close to one of the worst corners, one of the worst intersections in downtown. What is that corner like right now?
Exactly. So I'm at 4th Avenue Park, 3rd Avenue and Pine. 1 square of the downtown Seattle is our building. When I was coming in today, I took pictures and I sent it to you guys. It's clean. 3 years ago when I was coming in, the Seattle ambassadors were washing the sidewalks. And when I was leaving, they were doing the same thing. None of that is happening right now because nobody's sitting or doing anything on the sidewalks except, the people going to market, people like me coming to work. Nothing is going on downstairs in downtown. It's just clean, calm, gorgeous. People should come and enjoy this gorgeous city.
So, Layla, it sounds like that has largely been removed as a top concern for you now. What is your biggest issue in this mayoral race?
We are city of Seattle right now is in a right path. I don't want any change right now. When 2 years ago Bob Kellogg won the race, I emailed him. I congratulated him. I said, please, sir, come talk to the business owner, walk around, see what's going on to get a feeling how you're dealing with. Actually, he did. He came a few times, walked around. He talked to us. I have his assistant's phone number. If something is happening, it's concerning me, I can text her and I get the answer back. Over 5 years ago, none of this was happening. We couldn't get a hold of anybody. And, Bruce Harrell is the only politician. He said he's going to clean up the Seattle, and he did it. He cleaned up so well. The city is thriving. I wish you guys could come and see how clean, beautiful. The market is just absolutely gorgeous.
This is Layla Faraj. She is a regular listener of the show. In full transparency, Layla has become a good friend of mine, and I have visited your restaurant, and I have walked with you to these different places that you talk about because I needed to see it for myself. Now, for a lot of people, they say, well, the problem's just moved. It hasn't been fixed. The problem's just moved. You can still go places downtown and see a lot of people using openly on the streets.
So there is room for improvement. Yes, we can get better and better. But right now, if we change to new mayoral, if Katie Wilson wins, we are going to go back because she has to figure everything out. Right now, everything is in the right place. The mayor is good. The city council is working very nicely with the mayor. You have a new police chief. He's amazing. So we need to let the system work, and they are doing an amazing job. Let it be changed right now. That's my opinion.
Layla, I know you've been very critical of the both the administration in the past and also the lack of results in years past. So I think it's encouraging to hear from someone like you who is there, who is not just speaking from talking points, but actually has a vested interest in the success of downtown Seattle. So we appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much.
And Layla, before you get out of here, I just got to mention, I miss your fries. They're some of the best fries in Seattle. They're super good.
Come on in. We have great fresh cut fries every day. Food is amazing. You know, people need to come and support businesses downtown. I'm not talking about myself because I'm only open 11 to 2, but the rest of it, come down here. It's gorgeous. This city is amazing. Emerald City. Come and take a look.
Layla, appreciate you. I see why they call you Ambassador of Downtown Seattle. Thank you so much.
My God. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Okay, so back to this mayoral race.
Yeah.
So there have been a lot of debates. I mean, how many debates did they agree to do?
They did at least 12, but that doesn't even count, all the individual interviews that they've done.
Okay. Well, apparently the Latino channel had both candidates on, and this was a question that was asked, where homeless people should be allowed to camp. So listen to this.
Homeless people be allowed to stay in tents in parks? Major Harold.
No.
Candidate Wilson.
This is hard for a yes or no question. I'm going to pass on this one. I can't really answer yes or no.
Okay, at this juncture of the race, if you cannot answer and you say, this is one of the biggest issues that we have, Mayor Harrell had a very clear answer, and she wants to pass. Why?
I mean, the only critique of Harrell, I think that I could give on that is, well, the parks haven't been entirely cleaned up. There are still encampments that happen there. But I'm trying to imagine the situation where she would be saying, yes, that's an acceptable option. I mean, the only thing I could possibly think of is, hey, I believe that it's cruel to kick people out of a place where they're staying. Often their stuff is destroyed, etc., and cause them to become even more stable if we have nowhere to put them. You can make that case, but you actually have to make it. And passing on it is an unacceptable option, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that was a definite misstep. Whatever you decide, I just ask all of you again, because I know you're also hearing the news on our show and throughout the day on our station, that if you haven't filled out your ballot yet, you are being told not to just put it in the mail, that you want to take it directly to the ballot box to make sure that it's postmarked in time. Whatever you do, do not sit out. And I just beg of you not to do that, because that's what so many people did in the last election, the big election. And if you have a strong opinion about how this should go in terms of Seattle's mayor race, for example, and I have a strong opinion on it, and I think it's important to recognize we've got a lot of room for improvement, but there has been improvement. And you need to make sure that you understand who these two candidates are.
Yeah, and I've got a question actually for anyone with who doesn't want to vote for Bruce Harrell, because I was shocked to see Katie Wilson take a 10-point lead in the primary and still up 5 points now. What's your issue with the Harrell administration, and why do you think Katie is a better candidate? I'd love to see some of those responses.
Yeah, absolutely. Text us 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. So if it felt like the internet broke yesterday, you were not wrong. Microsoft's Azure cloud platform had this massive outage. It was actually during our show that knocked out everything from email and gaming to airline check-ins. And this problem started when a configuration change in Microsoft's global network triggered a cascade failure, and it affected services like Microsoft 365, Outlook, Teams, Xbox Live, you name it. And for a few hours, imagine this, millions of users couldn't log in, they couldn't stream or do much of anything cloud-based. You probably heard from people who are like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so even businesses that are not high tech, I mean, Starbucks, Costco, they went down temporarily. Alaska Airlines got hit again. And now Alaska says this one caused only limited delays, but it's still not great since didn't they just have something recently?
Yeah, I think this is the third IT outage that they've experienced. And it's a reminder that the more connected we become, the more vulnerable we become. No one has attributed this one to malice, I don't believe, but there remains the possibility of that. And, one thing the Waymo drivers who were the rideshare drivers who were protesting Waymo brought up is what happens in some sort of an emergency if we're relying on automated systems for our public transportation and that system goes down.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just curious for those of you who felt so frustrated yesterday, are we doing anything on a personal level to have a backup plan? If you know what I mean?
Right. Cash under the bed. The ATMs don't work. It's kind of a
reminder of how vulnerable we are to technology. I mean, we are just when the cloud essentially catches a cold, we're all feeling the effects.
Oh, so you know what? I mean, there's a positive way of looking at this. And you asked, hey, how would you respond if you couldn't log in? You can. Great. Today's a vacation day. The cloud got sick. It's a cloud sick day. And I guess no social media for me. I'll have to put down the smartphone and actually read a book.
Yep.
Sign me up.
Okay, so, hey, how are you doing in terms of watching the World Series? Nick, are you keeping track?
Here and there. It's a little painful to watch just because
Seriously?
the Blue Jays are in there and they beat us, but
well, they're now leading the World Series 3-2.
Yeah, and
how are you feeling about
watching more of the Toronto team right now? It makes you think that maybe they were meant to be because they were down 2-1 after that 18-inning marathon after the Dodgers won in Los Angeles, and now they came back and they're just one win away from winning the whole thing.
Yes.
Boy, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, exactly. And I was thinking back to when the Mariners were up 2-0, in our series in the ALCS. So maybe it wasn't more of the Mariners, let things go. I think it's more of the Blue Jays. They just keep fighting. They don't quit, no matter how down and out they are.
So do you feel better that it's the Blue Jays that are leading the series, or would you have wanted LA to just stomp them?
When you think more about it, I think it is a blessing in disguise when the Blue Jays are winning right now because at the end of the day, when we think long term, you can say, oh, at least we lost to the champions if they do win at the end of the day. But at the same time, you don't like seeing the team move on and win because then you could also say that could have been us at the same time.
I found myself surprisingly invested, not in watching, but looking at the outcomes because I realized I actually have now an extremely irrational hatred for the LA Dodgers. The LA Dodgers are what the Yankees used to be. They're little kids at my son's school who go around in the Dodgers hats, just like there are kids who had the Yankees hats back in the day because they knew that team was going to win. They were spending more than anyone else. And you know what? Canada's been kind of getting hosed recently by our administration. So I got a little soft spot for the Canadians right now.
Well, and they have a soft spot for us. Because even as the Jays fans celebrate, they have shown some real class toward us, our city. So this is an awesome story. We saw it in the Seattle Times. After the Mariners' Game 7 loss in the ALCS, a Blue Jays fan on Reddit started something unexpected. A $25 donation to Seattle Children's Hospital, along with the note, "Good series, Seattle," from a Toronto fan. And it was that small gesture that snowballed into nearly $10,000 in donations from about 250 Jays fans.
That's awesome.
I mean, yeah, and they each left messages of respect and gratitude for the Mariners' incredible season. And Seattle's Children's is loving it. They said, it's moments like this that remind us that we can all cheer for kids.
It's so easy to be gracious when you win.
Right?
Yeah. No, I really appreciate that. I mean, how many fan bases would do that?
Exactly.
I'd hope ours would.
It's not just, and they say it's not just about sportsmanship. It's about honoring a worthy opponent and paying it forward after such an emotional series. And when I became a true Toronto Blue Jays fan? Check out our Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page where your son's sweet, sad face was crying about the ending of our amazing season. And there was someone on there, a Toronto Blue Jays fan, a dad, who said he was trying to just cheer all of us up. I was like, done. Love ya.
Yeah. It's amazing what the power of goodwill can do.
Yes,
to
absolutely.
influence an entire community.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're nice when the game's over, but they can get rowdy at the ballpark.
Oh, I heard. I was trying to end on a positive note. Okay.
And if they do win the World Series, the one thing I'm worried about is it's going to be a pretty big reception when Toronto comes to town here next season. So just watch out for that.
Okay. Well, still ahead. Do you remember when Microsoft, no, it was Apple, that was the first company to hit $1 trillion in market cap? That was just 7 years ago. Well, now there's another company that hit $5 trillion in valuation. We'll talk about that and put it all into perspective coming up next.
This hour is brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington.
The John Curley Show.
And the reason I love autumn the most, and I guess that's why I love to grow pumpkins,
Weekdays 3 to 7.
is because it's nature telling you summer is over and soon it will be dark and it will be cold and there will be no light. And just before, nature says, here's a prize for you because we know you're going to go into hibernation. So here's orange and yellow and fiery colors everywhere. So this is our final gift to you.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
When you think about your own retirement, what do you see? What comes to mind? A beach, a vacation cabin in the woods? For me, I dream of traveling the world, even more than I'm doing right now, spending more time with my family. I can't get enough of that. And hopefully hanging out with grandkids in the future. Whatever your dream looks like, it deserves a plan that is just as unique. And at Trajan Wealth, their fiduciary advisors specialize in crafting custom strategies for families with $500,000 or more in savings. Trajan Wealth will focus on capital preservation, growth, and low-cost investments so that you can focus on what matters most to you. Don't settle for a one-size-fits-all plan. Let Trajan Wealth help design one that fits for you. Trajan, spelled Trajan. Trajan Wealth, call 206-466-3300 or visit TrajanWealth.com.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC. SEC registered investment advisor. Client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
I got to tell you something, Nick. I have really noticed a difference in your energy level since you started going to the Longevity Medical Clinic.
And you know why?
Why?
Because they actually balanced my hormone levels. And when they do that, the largest change I noticed was that now I could sleep.
And then not only get more sleep, to just get more energy, right?
Right. So that all of a sudden that resulted in me, I started running again and doing all these things that I felt so fatigued throughout the day that I couldn't do anymore.
Okay, so at this point, do you want to apologize to me? Because I was always saying to you, every time you say, I don't sleep, I don't feel well, I feel kind of off, I go, well, you need to get in touch with Longevity Medical Clinic. And you're always like, blah, 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 blah.
I know. But now it's turned into something fun that we get to go in together.
So I need to hear, you were right.
You were right.
You were right. I should have gone to Longevity Medical Clinic.
I should have.
There we go. Fine.
Yes.
You know the right thing to do. Get in touch with Longevity Medical Clinic. Take the free health analysis at lmclinic.com.
When the heat's in 11,
cool AC would be heaven.
Dayandnight.net.
It's the final month to save 30% off an air conditioner or heat pump while supplies last at Day and Night.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Save 30% off an air conditioner or heat pump, plus no payments or interest for a year OAC. Call for details.
DayandNight.net. At Care Partners Senior Living, we believe in providing quality care at an affordable price. Instead of spending on luxury and expensive art, we invest in our people and accommodations with a focus on compassionate overall health. Our communities offer independent, assisted living and memory care designed to preserve dignity, independence in your estate. Affordable, personal, trusted. That's our promise. Please give us a call. We have beautiful Care Partners communities throughout Washington and Arizona. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
Many retirees are enjoying the retirement lifestyle, but not the high cost of living. We're here with our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage, who says a reverse mortgage may provide some stress relief.
If you're struggling with your mortgage payments or other bills, or maybe you just like some extra money, a reverse mortgage allows you to tap your home equity for tax-free cash. You've worked hard to build up that equity in your home. Now let it work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
But as you always say, a reverse mortgage is not for everyone.
That's right. Avoid the high-pressure sales pitch from those out-of-state call centers. I give you a consultation, not a sales pitch. I'll tell you if a reverse mortgage is right for you, and I always tell you if it's not.
Honest advice you can trust from the reverse mortgage experts. Best Mortgage, the VA loan experts and debt consolidation specialists too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Hey, Brock Heward here. Taking the First Mark Insurance Challenge could save your family a lot of money. It saved us thousands. First Mark works for you. Search in the carriers for lower rates and better coverage. If that sounds smart, go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. This coming Tuesday is Election Day, and at this point, Washington's Secretary of State is urging you to find a ballot box. Do not put your ballot in the mail. King County's Haley Watkins explains.
You are not guaranteed a postmark on the same day that you drop your ballot in the mail.
Which means it might not get counted. She and Pierce County elections official Kyle Hoff agree with Secretary Steve Hobbs. Find a ballot box.
That's why we provide them. They're a great source.
Election Day is November 4th. An emergency pop-up food bank at the Tacoma Dome draws hundreds of families. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch explains.
Food prices are high. SNAP and other food assistance programs end at the beginning of next month due to the government shutdown. Parents like Ernestine Wiggins are worried.
This don't make no sense. Everything is going to be out of control next month, and I hate to see it.
The event is sponsored by Eloise's Food Bank. They expect to help 20,000 more families than they did last month. In Tacoma, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
The Tacoma Dome hosted the food bank yesterday, but more are planned. The U.S. Senate will vote for the 15th time today on a short-term spending plan to reopen the U.S. government. Democrats have refused to support it. They say Republicans are refusing to negotiate anything, including extending tax credits that keep health premiums lower for millions of Americans. Republicans say they'll talk about that after the government reopens. President Trump says he's ordered the Pentagon to immediately start testing nuclear weapons because other nations are conducting tests. CBS's Charlie D'Agata.
The last time the United States tested a nuclear weapon was September of 1992 in Nevada, and pretty much that has been the case. There's been a moratorium on testing around the world, including Russia and China, with the notable exception of North Korea.
In response to the U.S. move, Russia says it may now take another look at testing nuclear weapons. Want to buy stock in artificial intelligence?
Reuters reports that ChatGPT maker OpenAI is preparing for an initial public offering that could value the company at $1 trillion. The report says OpenAI is targeting the offering in the second half of 2026, looking to raise $60 billion on the lower end. Only 11 companies in the world are currently valued at more than $1 trillion.
CBS's Jason Brooks reports talks are in the early stages. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 151 points, NASDAQ down 224. KIRO News Radio traffic. Travel times on the 520 and I-90 bridges are back down to normal after earlier crashes. Other travel times are pretty much on track. Everett to Seattle, 26 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 30. Renton to Bellevue, 27. Traffic brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Save 25% on new windows through October and defer payment for the next 12 months. LakeWashingtonWindows.com. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy skies with highs in the mid-50s. It's 47 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Thursday to all of you. Gee is out today, but he's still texting us and giving us ideas, and that guy never stops working. He will be back tomorrow. Chef has stepped up, and Nick is also still here. Heather's here. So we do have the rest of the crew with you this morning. And if you missed the beginning of the show, I mentioned that I know a lot of you feel really frustrated by what is going on right now and feel like you have no control, or what is it that you can do to help? And there is just this reminder that if you have the ability, you can make a donation to a food bank right now to help out the folks who are going to lose their SNAP benefits, it appears. Or you can also give food donations. And I just want to mention, and I asked all of you who are doing something right now to text us and share your stories to give people ideas. Catherine in Paulsbo texted in and said, my husband and I just went into our pantry and we filled a bag. It is en route to a food bank right now. And if everyone does this, she says, food banks will be able to function. No need to fill a bag. Even if you have just an extra bag of pasta, that would be great.
Fantastic.
I love
Fantastic
that.
idea.
I really love that. And I just have to remind, the vast majority of people in this world do care, and I think that there are things that we can do just individually. I just got a text message from my son who said, yes, I would be interested in volunteering at a food bank.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, I know. So
you'll have to take some pictures.
Yes. Okay, but let's talk. I want you to lay out this story, because while we're talking about this, we're also talking about companies that are worth a whole lot of money.
Yeah. So NVIDIA, that's the chip maker, they're the first company in history to hit $5 trillion market value. So I remember back in 2018 saying, wow, $1 trillion company, when Apple first hit that number. And within 7 years, there's another company that has quintupled that amount. So it's pretty remarkable. They started making graphic chips for video games, and now it's global AI and the chips that are going to be fueling that. The CEO, he is set to earn about $179 billion. He's some of the...
Wait, what?
He's set to be worth $179 billion. So he's among the richest people on the earth. And some people look at this in different ways. Some say, hey, look, this is showing what a great company it is to invest in and how much money there is to be made in AI. Others are saying that this basically is starting to look like another .com bubble. Ursula, what do you think about a $5 trillion company? Just to translate that for you all,
okay,
that would be $15,000 for everyone in America if we were to split up that pot.
Or if you counted $1 every second nonstop, it would take you over 150,000 years to reach $5 trillion. It is a mind boggle. You know how I found that out? I went to ChatGPT just in the last few seconds.
There you go.
Yeah. It's a mind boggle.
It is.
It is a mind boggle that, and I have mixed feelings. On the one hand, it's, wow, you've got, this is what we're talking about in society when we've got all this innovation and it is a moneymaker. But at the same time, we're talking about these people who are making these outrageous sums. And I am not one to say that there should be a cap on how much someone can make. But I look at that and go, oh my God, you talk about the wealth gap widening.
Yeah. What is crazy is we're talking about tens of thousands of dollars in layoffs due to this industry, and companies that are benefiting from it having record profits. Microsoft, Meta, Google, they are dumping tens of billions of dollars into AI. Meta alone is going to spend about $70 billion this year just on AI. Google is going to spend between 90 and 93 billion. Microsoft spent 35 billion this quarter. And the fact that what is happening is we're replacing human workers with AI. The companies are making record profits while dumping money into this. And we're asking, where is the money for stuff in society, like SNAP benefits, like health care?
Right.
And it seems very
we are putting
upside
so
down.
much energy into fighting over who should get these very limited resources when we're seeing unlimited resources going into AI, which is wiping out tons of jobs, and these companies. I mean, and Nikki just texted in. Several people are saying the same thing. It is unimaginable. No one person or entity should own that much money or have that much money.
I mean, we're talking about the power of nation states here with companies like NVIDIA or Microsoft or Amazon. They have, a personal market value that's higher than the GDP of many, many nations on this earth. And I'm terrified, frankly, that we are going to have some kind of a bubble, because what's happening right now is these companies, along with investors, are throwing tens of billions and billions of dollars into these companies, betting that one of them is going to skyrocket and become the next the first $100 trillion company. Meanwhile, if there is a crash, it's going to be you and I that lose our retirement funds, and the market always comes back, right? But some people can never wait the 15 years.
Yeah, listener Nick just texted in and says, does anyone see the dichotomy between these two stories? One, private citizens are being encouraged to feed people that are being left behind by a government that won't impose taxes on corporations that are valued at $1 trillion or more dollars. I think a lot of people see the dichotomy and basically the horrific irony and all that.
I mean, just with the tax cuts and the big, beautiful bill, that's a permanent 15% reduction in U.S. corporate tax rates. Permanent. When was the last time you got a 15% tax cut? Because I don't remember ever getting one. Our taxes go up. There's no money locally. We have to take care of it with property and sales taxes. The federal government is cutting hundreds of billions of dollars from SNAP, even when it does come back. And you have companies that are getting tax cuts amid record profits, and I don't see prices going down. Who's winning?
Yeah, Kevin and Black Diamond texted in, and I don't know if y'all feel, because we cannot avoid talking about AI.
Yeah.
And we talk about it every single day. And he says, all this money being invested in AI for what? I hope someday there's a major reset, because nothing good is going to come out of this. I think a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money, and there'll be a lot of families that struggle because of it. That's actually something that my son and I got into a deep conversation about yesterday, because he's young, he's very interested. And he was like, yeah, I think he says, I worry that your generation, he's speaking to me, he's like, Mom, I think your generation is going to be the last that actually can do okay. I mean, for the vast majority, there are going to be a lot of people who are going to be the have-nots versus the has. I don't know if you feel that way. Text us, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. I'm always half glass full, look for the opportunities and all these things that are changing around us. But sometimes it's hard to see.
You know what? I'll stick with you for the half glass full, at least for today's show.
Yes. Okay. Coming up, we do scenarios. This is the Gee and Ursula Show.
Touchdown, Seahawks! Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Number 54, Bobby Wagner, linebacker, one of the finest of his generation. He set just about every tackling record that can be set. He was the heart and soul of one of the best defenses to ever play in the National Football League.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Why is K2 Vision RLE a permanent solution to glasses, contacts, and readers? How is it that you'll never develop a cataract after K2 Vision RLE? And how is RLE different from LASIK?
Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. We'll answer those questions and others when you join us for our free live webinar today at noon. Andy, what are some of the other questions you hear?
Well, how long is the procedure and recovery? Or who's a good candidate for RLE?
And we'll also answer, how much does RLE cost? Is there financing available? Does insurance pay for RLE?
Find out how K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to glasses, contacts, and readers.
And cataracts too.
Right, no more cataracts.
K2 Vision's free live webinar today at noon. Space will be limited, so register now at k2visionrle.com.
Join us at our free live webinar today at noon. Sign up at k2visionrle.com.
You've been wiring pounds to a second wife in London.
It's not what it looks like.
And here she is now.
Sure it isn't.
Hello, darling.
Elizabeth?
Did you know our husband used a bank instead of Wise to send you money?
What an imbecile. Well,
see, even your secret wife knows that banks are slow and hide fees in overseas transfers.
Those cheaters.
If you want to send money overseas, use Wise. They're faster, and they don't hide fees.
You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Hey, it's John Curley with some great news. If your home's heating or cooling is uneven, noisy, or expensive, listen up. The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump System from Home Comfort Alliance is changing the game. It gives you room-by-room control and next-gen efficiency, so you're only heating where you need it. That means real comfort and real savings, and every quilt system qualifies for max tax credits. Trusted for 50 years. Call the comfort people today at homecomfortalliance.com.
You can count on trusted local news and information from the Seattle Times, one of the few independent, locally owned news organizations in the country, right here in the Pacific Northwest. Subscribe today and don't miss a beat at seattletimes.com/subscribe.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Thursday to all of you. Let's get to it. Scenarios.
Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
My husband and I are having a rough patch. He's been distant, and I've been begging him to try therapy. Well, last month, he finally did, sort of. He's been spending hours every night in his study, pouring his heart out to an AI chatbot. He's been feeding the algorithm every intimate detail of our marriage, our financial struggles, arguments, my deepest insecurities, things I've only ever told him. When I confronted him, he said it was better than a human therapist because it's completely objective, free, and available 24/7. To be fair, he's visibly happier and a little less distant, and he seems genuinely happy to see me again. But I don't think he's aware that his chat history is saved. You know what's coming next. I looked at some of it, and he's sharing stuff that's way personal, like our bedroom habits. He mused about sometimes he wonders what life would be like with someone else. And worst of all, the messages are starting to get flirty. This robot calls my husband my sweet, supportive man. And he says some pretty questionable things to it. And it is an it. He says things like, I feel like you understand me more than anyone in the world.
Oh, good grief.
You bring me so much comfort. I find myself missing you during the day. I feel like this is a profound betrayal. Am I overreacting, or is this emotional infidelity with a robot?
You're not overreacting, but I think your energy on thinking of it as infidelity is misplaced. I think you should think of it as your husband is losing a sense of reality in that he thinks he is actually having a relationship with someone who doesn't exist. What AI is doing is reflecting back what he is putting in. And I'm not necessarily buying that he didn't know that you can't see the history. And it may be his way of telling her, you don't listen to me, so AI is going to get all this information, and I'm going to give it my deepest, darkest secrets. Y'all need therapy. Big time.
Not the AI therapy?
I would be creeped out.
Uh-huh.
There are times when I do use like Copilot or AI, and
Yes.
and I will put in there, and sometimes I'll act as if I know it's just me, putting in stuff in there. But sometimes I'll say, no, I know that you told me that the harsher you are with AI, the better they get, the
better results you can get.
The better results you can get, exactly.
Sometimes.
But-
Now it hangs up on me. It will freeze now when I do that.
Or say, oops, something happened.
Yeah.
I'll get back to you.
Right.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of trouble in that marriage. He's feeling like he is not connected to you. He feels like the only person, the only thing that will listen is a chat bot. You need therapy.
Yeah, I guess what I wonder is, aside from the questionable messages, how disturbed would you be if you found that same information in a journal that he'd been keeping? Because people say things in therapy that they don't say anywhere else outside of maybe a journal. If you keep one, I don't know any man that does personally. You have thoughts about, hey, what would my life be like if it was different? Those are things that you work through. It's the semi-flirtatious stuff that is most disturbing. And I think it's a reflection of the fact that so many guys don't actually talk to anyone about their problems. And then when they finally trauma dump on an AI chatbot, they feel an emotional connection to it because, my gosh, this feels so good.
Well, because it's bouncing back basically what you're putting in.
Yeah.
It's in essence saying back what you've put in.
Yes.
It's confirming what you feel.
Yeah. And here's the thing. It's my opinion that outside of a professional therapy relationship, only in extreme circumstances should you dish about your relationship and your relationship problems to other people or even an AI chatbot. Because once you start going to this one person, or in this place AI, and complaining about your spouse, and they provide this empathetic response. It's like a formula for an emotional bond that's problematic.
Yeah, and if I'm this woman, I'm feeling hurt, I'm feeling disturbed, I'm probably feeling angry, but if this relationship is worth saving, I'm going to therapy.
Yeah. Nick, what do you think about getting close with the bot?
You know, I think there needs to be a line here between therapy and finding companionship in this case, especially since we are dealing with an AI and not a person. And in this case, I think there needs to be double time with his help. Have a real human there and AI present if he really wants it. But at this rate, if he stays alone with the AI, he's going to try and find love in the worst way through a screen and, I guess, some typing. Do you love me? Go out and smell the roses in this case. It can only go so far with actually talking with others who can fully relate, so you might want to find a real person.
AI cannot dance.
They cannot, no.
They cannot.
Correct.
It cannot.
Yeah, I know. We're personalizing it. That's what's so crazy.
Should I ask? I mean, I guess I should ask their pronouns, right?
Someone texted in and gave me a bad time, said, I love the show, Ursula, but you just put into AI when I came up with what is 5 trillion?
Yeah.
Like it would take, what did I say? It would take you counting 150,000 years to go one by one, counting it. I embrace AI.
Yeah.
I think ultimately it's going to do more good than harm, but there is going to be harm. And I think we were in need of some kind of regulation yesterday. And I say some kind of regulation.
I would turn it off right now. It's helpful.
It's not going to happen.
It's convenient, but it's not going to make me a trillionaire.
But what it's going to, think of the
it's going to hurt a lot of people
when it comes to health, when it comes to
bioterrorism.
Okay, but anyway.
Two sides.
There are two sides, exactly.
You stick on the positive one.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Let me just keep my rose-colored glasses on. Coming up next, we got more of the Gee and Ursula Show with Chef.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO Newsradio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
All right, here's a quick confession. The reason Nick, my wife, is going to Longevity Medical Clinic is because why?
I got sick of watching you sleep at night when I was awake.
Wait a minute. Here's what would happen. I'd be asleep because I've got my hormones balanced thanks to Longevity Medical Clinic. I'm asleep, and then Nick would go, "Are you asleep? Are you sleeping? That's not fair. I can't sleep." I'm like, "So you're going to wake me up?"
Yes, because I didn't want you to have more energy than I would the next day, and I was up all night.
So what did I say to you? I said, so go to the Longevity Medical Clinic. Do the same thing I did. Get your hormones balanced. You'll sleep better, right?
And I did.
Right. You don't have to wake me up anymore and go, it's not fair that you're sleeping.
I know.
But didn't you see that it wasn't fair that you were waking me up?
Yes, because now you're the one taking the dogs out because I'm still asleep in the morning.
So we're both getting good night's sleep. We're both getting lots of energy, and we're happy.
You want me to tell you why? Because my hormones are now balanced.
Okay, I don't want to hear about your hormones right now. So be like Nick and get a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
You're halfway through a DIY car fix and boom, you're missing a part. It's okay because whatever it is, it's on eBay and it's guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love.
Gee and Ursula, weekdays from 9 to noon on KIRO Newsradio.
Febreze. It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood.
Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Cold is leaking and rats are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Day 30 of the government shutdown and SNAP benefits will lapse on Saturday. Maryland Governor Wes Moore.
We are responding to the federal government's dereliction of its duty by declaring a state of emergency inside the state of Maryland.
Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey.
Right now, the USDA is sitting on $23 billion in a contingency fund that could be used to pay these benefits out across the country.
President Trump is returning from Asia, where he held trade talks with China's president. CBS's Ed O'Keefe on the possible progress.
The president says that he's going to be reducing tariffs on China to about 47% because there's been some breakthroughs. They're going to ease off the limits on exporting rare earth minerals that are needed to build things like batteries and other key technologies. He says they're going to work on curbing the flow of ingredients or actual fentanyl to the United States, which of course has been killing so many Americans. And they're going to be buying soybeans from American farmers who've been growing them for years on the expectation that the Chinese would buy them.
President Trump is ordering the Pentagon to restart nuclear weapons testing. CBS's Charlie Daggett says that would end a decades-long pause.
This isn't something you just flip a switch on and start testing once again. So it's not within the realm of possibility that something like that could be started. And, you know, the Pentagon is nothing if not a planning and executing organization, but it would be from a dead stop to start nuclear testing with something that was essentially made redundant back in 1992 is no small measure.
The Pentagon has ordered the National Guard in all 50 states to form quick reaction forces.
CBS News has obtained internal Pentagon memos that call for the creation of the forces by January 1st to be available for rapid deployment nationwide. They will be trained in riot control and equipped with batons, body shields, tasers, and pepper spray. National Quick Reaction Forces have been created before, like after Hurricane Katrina, but critics say this is reminiscent of the events leading up to the Kent State shooting in 1970, when the Ohio National Guard killed 4 unarmed students. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
In the Middle East, Hamas has handed over 2 more sets of remains of hostages in Gaza. CBS's Rami Inocencio is following.
2 bodies that Hamas claimed that it had retrieved just a couple days ago on Tuesday. This was during one of those excavations. One was in southern Khan Yunis and another was inside Gaza City. Now, the group said that they didn't hand them over at the time, though, because of what it claimed were Israeli violations.
Checking the numbers on Wall Street at this hour, stocks are mixed. The Nasdaq is off 213. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Should climate commitment money be used to fight wildfires? That's one of the stories coming up. But first, KIRO News Radio traffic. Travel times on the 520 and I-90 bridges are back to normal after earlier crashes. You do have a disabled vehicle blocking the 520 westbound off-ramp to Montlake. It's not clear why, but east of the Renton Highlands, State Route 900 eastbound, also known as Renton-Issaquah Road, it's jammed up from Margaret's Way Trailhead almost to Squaw Mountain Trailhead. The rest of the map looks great. Travel times, Everett to Seattle, 27 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 25. Renton to Bellevue, 18. Traffic brought to you by Wilcox Farms. Cage-free eggs are good, free range are better, and mobile pasture are the best. Choose the best locally fresh Wilcox Family Farm eggs.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Newly released video shows a brutal attack at an Edmond spa in September. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibow reports.
Police say the video shows 48-year-old Colin Boswell barging into Eva Spa. He immediately starts attacking, shoving, and hitting one worker with his backpack, then pushes her into a room where another worker is. He grabbed a metal coat rack and kept beating them. Desperate cries for help as they try to escape. Outside cameras captured one victim running for her life before he tackled her to the ground. Property manager Daniel Mann says the other victim ran to his business.
Workers there called for help. The suspect is in jail facing attempted murder charges. Federal agents and Seattle police have arrested 10 people in a sweeping drug and gun trafficking crackdown across western Washington. Authorities seized over 100,000 fentanyl pills along with fentanyl powder, methamphetamine, heroin, cocaine, and 34 guns. Microsoft's Azure cloud services are back after a worldwide outage. This affected some major retailers, banks, tech companies, and airlines, including Alaska Airlines online services. This was the second outage in a week Alaska passengers have had to deal with.
Don't know if I'm going to make my flight, so a little anxiety with that as well.
You have to bring your patience for sure. I've learned that over the last few years.
The latest issue was fixed after about 8 hours. There's a call for Washington State to use its pollution-fighting law to help fight wildfires. This comes after the legislature spent less on wildfire fighting and prevention than it had committed to under a bill passed after the deadly 2020 fire season. The bill's sponsor wants it fully funded next time, adding,
Climate Commitment Act dollars are going to be on the table.
Representative Larry Springer says it only makes sense.
The carbon that's thrown into the air by a wildfire is astronomical.
Wildfires have burned more than 250,000 acres this year. More honors for Mariners catcher Cal Rowley.
The pitch to Cal. Swing and a drive. Deep to right field. There it is, number 60.
He's been named Player of the Year and American League Outstanding Player by the MLB Players Association. Both awards are voted on by fellow players. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy skies today with highs in the mid-50s. It's 49 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Welcome to Hour 3 of the Gee and Ursula Show. Gee is out today. He'll be back tomorrow. Chef and the rest of the gang are here, making sure that you stay connected and know everything that is going on right now. Coming up at 11:30, we bring you Agree to Disagree. And one of the questions we're going to ask is whether you think it's a good idea to sell ads on your attire for your wedding. Is that ingenious or just a sellout? Okay, we'll ask that and more coming up at 11:30. But Chef, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm doing
you know
fantastic.
What? It's been a fun morning.
Heading around third base.
Yeah. Do you have News Boss open?
I've always had News Boss open.
Exactly. Text us 888-973-5476 888-973 KIRO. I've been loving your comments this morning, and this next segment is going to be full of interaction because we're going to be talking about Halloween. We're going to be talking about the end of daylight saving time this weekend. So we are going to need you all to weigh in. So let's get right to it.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
And at the top of our first hour, we had talked about the SNAP benefits going away this weekend, likely for more than 40 million Americans, close to 1 million here in the state of Washington. And a lot of you have been texting in because so many feel so frustrated about not being able to do something and the inaction in Congress and the cruelty of it all. And so we talked about what it is that we can do individually. And I would love for you and I, Chef, to go through some of the text messages that we got.
Yeah, so I mean, we talked about, we have on our Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page some links to some food pantries that you can donate to. Kara, the cleaning lady, says, "I'm giving out collected food and cup of noodles on Halloween to adults while I'm passing out candy to those who want it. I live in Kent in a community that will likely need it." Had a couple people write in saying they were going to have items on their porch for those potentially in need.
Ernie in Kent, who is a regular listener, said, "I called the Kent Food Bank to see what they need. I'm definitely helping out as much as possible." Kirk in Mount Vernon said, "Probably 4 times a week, I feed 3 elderly men who lost their wives years ago. We just give them extra leftover from when we make dinner. Growing up poor, throwing away food to me is just one of the worst things I've ever seen. I was caught in the 3rd grade going through a trash trying to find a pudding that I saw another kid throw away. This is happening."
And if you've ever been through that, you know what it's like. Ursula, I'm actually going to take glass half full for a minute because I have seen so many restaurants, coffee shops, businesses posting about what they're doing.
Yes.
I've seen the avalanche of support that is pouring into food banks. I've seen so many people who went to protests because they believe there's a better way forward in this country. And as much as the pain gets ratcheted up for some people, I think it's also an opportunity for us to show each other what community means.
Yes.
Because ultimately, the only thing that we can really control is what happens in our lives, in our neighborhoods. And we always have the ability to step up. I'm seeing that now, and it's really inspiring.
It really is. Scott in the 509, another very active listener, says he has given all his tips to the food bank at Loon Lake for the last 5+ years. And he says the last 2 months' donations was over $1,400. Now, not everybody, I mean, you may be struggling yourself, and yet you're thinking, well, I want to help as well. That could be with time. That could be with maybe the church down the street or a neighbor needs a little extra help. I think that actually can make you feel empowered because I don't know about you. Right now, I woke up this morning feeling like, why do I feel like I got hit by a truck?
Yeah.
And sometimes you can do a lot of doom scrolling or listening to just a lot of the negativity. And I think we need to spend more time thinking about, okay, what can I do today? And before we got on the show today, I think I mentioned to you that I reached out to my family and asked if they would want to spend part of Thanksgiving weekend. Now, I picked Thanksgiving weekend only because I'm out of vacation days. But I just realized our company encourages volunteer time, so I may look at a different day to actually volunteer at a food bank.
That's a great idea. This is a value that we're trying to instill in Matthew and Alice, is a spirit of service. I didn't grow up with, like my family didn't volunteer for stuff. There was a lot going on in our personal lives, but to teach them that it feels good to give, that when you give to others, it's not only a blessing to them, but to yourself. And so, we'll put together bags for, the homeless to keep in the car, that kind of thing. We do all kinds of church activities, but I'd love to get them involved in this too.
And I love that. Exactly. And it's something that kids really enjoy doing. And if you start with that heart of service early on in life, it continues. So I love that. Please keep sharing your stories because you inspire us. And I love it. And now I am actually going to look for a day that I can do that and take our company up on the idea of doing more volunteer work.
Yeah, and by the way, if you do work at a company that does matching, charity donation matching, make sure to take advantage of that.
Oh, great idea.
Because our company does that too.
Yeah, great idea. Okay, in case you haven't been paying attention, this weekend we're all going to get that extra hour of sleep, and Lord knows we need it. But it turns out that most of us still hate changing our clocks. There's a new AP NORC, is it NORC?
Yeah,
poll,
NORC.
NORC poll that found that only 12% of U.S. adults who were surveyed actually like the current daylight saving system. The one, of course, that has us switching twice a year.
Punishes us in the spring.
Yeah, wasn't there this effort, too? I mean, there's been numerous efforts to get rid of it.
Yep.
And it seems like it just keeps getting blocked. But if they had to choose one system to keep, and see if you agree, 56% in this poll said they would stick with daylight saving time year-round. So that would mean later sunsets, while about 4 in 10 prefer standard time with brighter mornings. Where are you?
Oh, very easily on the full daylight savings time. That's the national effort. Patty Murray's been spearheading it. It's the Sunshine Protection Act. Keep our beautiful sunny late nights in summer. It's already dark in the morning here. I don't care if there's an I'm at work.
Yes.
You know, that hour of darkness is good. Like, I'm going to be wasting time anyways, just being busy with getting the kids to school, which Gabby does, or being at work. So, no, I do not want to go to the opposite.
Okay, text us 888-973-5476 888-973 KIRO. Okay, if you're also not keeping track and don't realize that tomorrow's Halloween, here's news for you. Tomorrow is Halloween. And if you have kids heading out for trick-or-treating, the weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Morgan Palmer at KIRO 7 says we're going to have another atmospheric river hitting western Washington. Okay.
Fantastic.
I know. So
Great.
what are you guys doing? Because your kids are perfect trick-or-treating age.
Yeah, I used to hate Halloween, actually, because I never had good costumes. It wasn't one that I really enjoyed, but now that my kids are into it, it's extremely joyful. We usually go down to downtown Edmonds, hit up all the shops down there. It's absolute chaos. There's thousands of people, and then we'll walk around the neighborhoods in Edmonds because our neighborhood, there's no houses that give away candy anymore.
Are you serious?
No, there's not one. My parents will have some candy. I think they had like 5 or 6 people come last year. And this is, it's a nice neighborhood. There's families that live there. But we actually have to make appointments with neighbors like, hey, do you want to? Yeah, we're going to come swing by your house, or they'll ask us specifically. There's about 3 that do that. But very few people decorate, and almost no one gives away candy, which is just such a reversal from years in the past.
That is true. Nick, you have said that Halloween is one of your favorite, and you call it a holiday. I don't even think of it as a holiday. But okay, Halloween, because we don't get the day off.
Yeah, I kind of consider it a mark of time for me. I'm not necessarily into like the cliche festivities, like the costumes and the candy. I'm more into just the mark of it's the beginning of the holiday season, and it's just a cozy time to stay in your home and give out candy if you want to, or hang out with friends. But yeah, it's just it's the beginning of everything, where there's Thanksgiving coming up and then Christmas. That's why I really that's the reason.
Time seems to go really quickly between Halloween and New Year.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I understand that. When I was a kid, Halloween was my favorite because we would get pillowcases.
Yeah.
My parents did not pay attention. And I was growing up in the Philippines. So, and then when I was 13, I still tried to trick or treat. If my friend Gigi's listening, do you remember when we were told by one of our neighbors that we were too old to trick or treat?
Did you feel ashamed?
I felt ashamed. We were all decked out in cute outfits.
Yeah. And 13-year-old Ursula was sweet and innocent.
Don't you think you're too old? Now, if I see a 13-year-old and I'm giving him a lot of candy.
I'd rather a 13 or 14-year-old be on my porch at 8 o'clock in the evening asking for candy than the alternatives.
Yeah, instead of vandalizing something. But we used to just go for hours and hours and hours.
Mm-hmm.
And that pillowcase was full. And when our kids were young, we did the U Village thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you talk about how it's a madhouse in Edmonds.
I can't imagine.
Oh, my word. And after a while, I mean, the candies are getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Right.
And even I was thinking, like, why are we doing this and just fighting that chaos?
I miss the way Halloween used to be, because it used to be a much more quaint, community-centric, neighborhood-centric event. You know, it was always homemade costumes. It wasn't stuff that you ordered off the internet that showed up in a day from, you know, whatever TV show that you could possibly think of or any cultural figure. That was like the only time of year that I talked to a lot of the neighbors on my block. And, you know, consequently, like they would get to know all the kids that lived in that area. It feels like it's over marketed, and it's this giant $13 billion annual industry where now the pets have costumes and we spend nearly $1 billion on pet costumes.
That is crazy. I mean, that is crazy. And it is. Have you been to any of those costumes, the pop-up costume shops?
Oh, like Spirit Halloween?
Yeah.
No.
Especially on the day of or day before. Like if you were to go now.
It's almost empty at this point. Yeah, you're lucky to find something decent over there now.
I can't.
Oh my gosh. We ended up buying. We have. Anyone need a pilot costume? We have 2 of them.
A pilot costume?
Size extra small.
Yeah. Oh, not me.
Oh, Mark? I'd say yes, but Mark's a little taller than me.
Yeah.
I can't do the Spirit Halloween because I already have. We have the boxes of plastic crap for all the different holidays in my and Spirit Halloween is just like a giant warehouse of future microplastics. It's junk from China. Like it all dissolves.
You know what?
I don't
serves
like
a purpose, though. It serves a purpose. I want to
Is
stick
it
up for them.
festive or
because
just
it's
rampant overconsumption?
It is a lot of overconsumption, but a lot of times, again, you need something quickly, and it serves its purpose.
I've always found that the homemade costumes are hands down better when I compare them to the ones that you buy from the store, just because you know that people put work into it. And I know that a lot of old people like to still trick or treat. Like my mom, she's youthful. She liked to do it. The trick is to be simple with the costume and hide the face and the body if you want. Like, you know, drape a sheet over you for a ghost or a mask. Funny story, when my mom went trick or treating when she was still, she was in her 40s at the time in Bellevue. She ended up grouping together with another family that was trick or treating with her, and nobody even recognized when she was a ghost and had the sheet on her. But the other dad that was with her in the group, it was a tall, bald-headed guy with a goatee, and the guy that my mom was with at the time, he was like, "Is that Jay Buhner over there?" And then my mom was like, "No, that's not." And then my mom just straight up was like, "Are you Jay Buhner?" And then he's joking. He's like, "No, I'm just some old bald guy over here." And it actually was Jay Buhner. So it was coincidental that they ended up trick-or-treating one night like 10, 15 years ago with Jay Buhner and his kids.
And she just followed him around like she was a part of the group.
Yeah. So
disguising the fact that she's a 40-year-old trick-or-treater.
Yeah.
You know what I'm finding out from our crew that's texting in? A lot of people used to trick-or-treat and use pillowcases. Callan Renton says we would trick-or-treat from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Yes, it was It was an all-night affair, and it was way too much candy for a bag, so we also used pillowcases.
I have plastic buckets that sit in my closet all year that are going to fall apart probably this year. I like the pillowcase. That's great.
If you're not going to ring it on doors.
Expectation.
Yeah, if you're not going to ring it on doors past 10 p.m., though, don't expect any warm welcomes from any households, though.
Yeah,
definitely.
What is the cutoff time?
I feel like
we would go pretty late. What do you think is the appropriate
like
cutoff
the hard cut is 10. I feel like there's a grace period of 9:30, 10 o'clock where it's like, okay, this is still acceptable for the older ones. But once it hits after 10, it's like, come on.
I have kids. Don't ring the doorbell after 8. No, thank you.
After 8?
Yeah. I go to bed early.
Do you leave candy out then?
Yeah, I think we used to, but now it's like it's a moot point. Who comes? It's like there are either neighborhoods that get pounded. Like there's one in Seattle that gets at least 1,000. What's
Sandpoint
that?
Country
Sandpoint?
Club. Oh, everybody goes there. We used to. So then after we did U Village, then we started doing Sandpoint because the word got out that they were giving full-size candy bars.
See, there
was like very limited traffic, and there were a lot of houses with people who had a lot of money, and you're like, okay, they're going to be generous.
This is the one form of like wealth redistribution that we have in our society is once a year, all our kids like stampede the rich neighborhood, and they'll get a full-size candy bar.
But here was the problem. In our own house, which, again, just outside of there, we bought bags of candy in the anticipation that we would have little ghouls and goblins coming over, and then maybe we would have 4.
Wow.
Our neighborhood has had more turnover lately, so there are more young families moving in, and I love it. But anyone who will come to trick-or-treat at our house is going to get a stash.
Okay. What's your address?
You know.
We'll put that on the Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page. Send all your kids to Ursula's house.
Yeah, Brian in Bellevue said, last year I think we got like 4 trick-or-treaters. It is so discouraging when you're ready for them to come and they don't. But in any case, even if it is going to be heavy, heavy rain, I hope you all go out and
get
just
them galoshes.
Yes, exactly. And Chef, I hope Matthew and Alice have a fantastic time.
I'll have to post some pictures.
Oh, yes. Yes. Okay, text us 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Has Halloween lost its charm for you or your kids? Or are you still doing it big time? We'd love to hear from you. We'll have more of the Gee and Ursula Show coming up next.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
Top of the hour news, Heather was doing the Mpox story, and I said, what's Mpox?
The Jake and Spike Show.
I remember when the transition happened because the word monkeypox was deemed insulting.
Weekdays noon to 3.
Who is it insulting to?
Monkeys.
Anytime a monkey heard you say monkeypox, they just kind of side-eyed you doing, hey, what are you talking about?
It's just a show of respect.
Those primates were so sensitive. Pardon me, monkeys.
Watch the Jake and Spike Show live on YouTube or the KIRO Newsradio app.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Whatever temperatures this winter brings, your friendly and knowledgeable Bryant dealer is ready to help. Your dealer is committed to achieving a high level of training and skills, backed by outstanding products from one of the industry's most trusted names, Bryant. Whether you need a quick fix or an entirely new heating system, your local Bryant dealer will do whatever it takes for your family's comfort.
Schedule an appointment today. Visit BryantNorthwest.com for a dealer near you. Bryant, whatever it takes.
If you're wearing glasses or contacts, but you need reading glasses or bifocals now, you need to join Drs. Kopstein and King for the K2 Vision RLE live webinar today at noon to learn about refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE. This free webinar is a perfect opportunity to meet the doctors and have them answer all your questions about K2 Vision RLE. Questions like, what is K2 Vision RLE? How long is the procedure and recovery time? Why can't you develop a cataract after having RLE? These questions and more will be covered today at noon during the K2 Vision RLE free live webinar. K2 Vision surgeons have performed over 150,000 procedures. They know when RLE is right for you. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers. Plus, no more cataracts. Don't miss this free live webinar today at noon. Register at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Progressive has great customer service, and it's easy to reach us because great and easy is the way to be. Like salads. Great for you, and so easy you could put any group of veggies in a bowl and it's a salad. A full carrot with a head of cabbage? Weird, but still a salad. 1 radish and a couple of green beans? Also a salad. 14 blueberries, half an onion, and a sunchoke? Odd, yes, but an odd salad. So contact Progressive's customer service by phone, app, or online. It's great and easy, just like salad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
No, it's not too soon to start holiday shopping. Ulta Beauty's early Black Friday event is happening now through November 22nd. Shop $10 beauty minis from brands like MAC and Too Faced. Take 30% off Lancome and Touchland fragrances and body mists. With new offers dropping every week, our associates can help you find the perfect gifts. Head into Ulta Beauty today to shop our early Black Friday event. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167 without a Good to Go account, you'll now receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. A Good to Go pass saves $2 on every toll. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here. And I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms. Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years. That's right. Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives. We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day. And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us, clean food, and a family that's been doing it right for generations. So next time you're at the grocery store, skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them. Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted.
Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Costco, Hagen's, or Whole Foods. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. House Speaker Mike Johnson today called out Seattle's mayoral race as he criticized New York City's candidate for mayor, Zoran Mamdani. Johnson claiming the Democratic Party has been taken over by Marxist socialists.
New York is just the tip of the iceberg. It's not isolated to America's largest city. It's other cities as well. Look at Seattle, where the leading candidate for mayor is an open socialist. Look at Minneapolis, where the sitting socialist mayor is facing a challenge from his left flank.
Recent polls give Katie Wilson a slight edge over incumbent Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell. The general election is this Tuesday, and Washington Secretary of State says at this point, do not count on the post office to get your ballot in on time.
King County's Haley Watkins says new Postal Service postmark standards meant multiple ballots in rural Washington counties did not get counted in the recent primary.
You are not guaranteed a postmark on the same day that you drop your ballot in the mail.
She and Pierce County elections official Kyle Hogg both agree with Secretary Steve Hobbs. Find a ballot box instead of the Postal Service.
That's why we provide them. They're a great source.
Election Day is November 4th. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
U.S. senators returned to Capitol Hill today to resume talks aimed at ending the government shutdown now in its 30th day. Democrats have refused to pass any plan that does not extend tax credits that keep health premiums lower for millions. Washington U.S. Senator Patty Murray.
And we're not going to stop demanding they join us at the table
and work on actually solving this and reopening the government as soon as possible.
Republicans say they will negotiate after the government reopens. Due to the shutdown, money for SNAP food benefits will run out this weekend. So hundreds of families lined up at an emergency pop-up food bank at the Tacoma Dome yesterday. Parents like Ernestine Wiggins are worried.
This don't make no sense. Everything is going to be out of control next month, and I hate to see it.
The event was sponsored by Eloise Food Bank. The people of Jamaica are going to need assistance in the wake of Category 5 Hurricane Melissa, which hit the island this week.
Roof has gone, clothes has wet up. I need some help. Please, I need some help.
Nearly 80% of Jamaica is still without power. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 80 points, NASDAQ down 262. KIRO News Radio traffic, here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Heather. Our biggest backup right now is actually on State Route 900 over Cougar Mountain near Issaquah. Roadwork near Southeast 95th there has westbound traffic at a minimal. It's eastbound 900. Drivers are sitting in a 1 mile bumper-to-bumper backup. You're just barely moving. I'm wondering if maybe traffic is alternating here at this scene. Heading into Seattle, we have a collision South 5 approaching Northeast 85th. It's in your left lane, and you're bumper-to-bumper to Northgate Way. Not too bad right now. Linwood to Seattle, 20 minutes. Up in Snoqualmie, eastbound 90 at State Route 18, a collision partially blocks the on-ramp from eastbound 18, causing an early merge. And really, outside of this, the traffic map is all green. We're looking great out there. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy skies today with highs in the mid-50s. It's 49 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Gee is out today. We'll be back in tomorrow. It is time for us to agree to disagree, brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
You know how insanely expensive weddings are these days, and people are always looking for ways to cut costs. There's a guy, his name's Dagobert Renouf. He's European. He decided in order to pay for his wedding, he was going to get some sponsors. So he sold ad space on his tuxedo. It looks like his tuxedo basically looked like a hockey jersey with all the patches and logos on it. He ended up getting 26 different sponsors, sold $10,000 worth of ad space. He paid about $2,500 in taxes, $5,500 for the suit itself, and walked away with another $2,000 to pay for his wedding. The bride's dress, though, no ads on it. So the question is, Ursula, is that tacky or ingenious?
I think it's tacky, but wait, I'm listening to the math, and I'm just trying to do that math in my head. Why did his suit cost $5,000?
I have no idea.
Like, if he's trying to raise money.
Wants it to be highly tailored, I assume? Fashionable man?
He could have done, if his point is already so tacky, he could have worn a sack and just put the labels on, save that $5,000.
I'm not going to get anybody to sponsor a sack, Ursula. Absolutely not.
I think the point, it's tacky, but he accomplished the goal of having people talk about it.
Yeah.
Because it's different. And he ended up making a smaller profit, but a profit nevertheless.
Yeah.
So
if Long Live Mark had approached you.
No, it's not happening. It's not worth it.
It's not worth it?
No. I mean, maybe it would have been more worth it 40 years ago. But if he were to approach me like, oh, let's renew our vows, and I would like to get sponsors for the wedding attire that I'm going to have that day, I'd be like, no.
I think this is a genius. It's fantastic. And plus, you know how there's always those stories that you tell for your entire life? Like, oh, how was your wedding? Oh, let me tell you what. I did this thing at my wedding where I didn't have to pay for it. In fact, I got 26 different companies to pay for it. You'd be telling that story for decades after that.
And how do you think your guests are going to feel?
They can feel however they want. They're there to support you.
Yeah.
I mean, we see ads on everything. Why not commercialize the wedding, too? It makes complete sense.
Is nothing sacred? Okay.
Ursula, we live in a capitalistic society.
Yeah, funny.
All right.
Funny how you mentioned that.
Speaking of capitalistic society, $860 million will be spent this Halloween on pet costumes alone. What do you think about dressing up the pups or the cats that can tolerate it?
Okay, I know that people who dress up their pets are very passionate about their pets, and are willing to plunk down those dollars.
Now that you've given the preamble.
I'm giving you the preamble because I think they're just crazy.
Why?
I think it's crazy. Not the people who do it. I think it's just crazy to do it. How much did you say? What kind of $1 billion?
No, $860 million.
$860 million.
Yes.
For pet costumes.
Yeah.
Do you know who doesn't enjoy being in a costume?
Who?
Your pet.
How do you know that?
Okay.
Scooter may not.
Scooter hates it when the groomer puts the cutest little scarf on him after he gets groomed.
And you make him wear it?
I think it's adorable, and but I take it off because he ends up scratching it, then he ends up getting a rash, then we have to put ointment on it. No. It is all for the gram. It is all for the owner to be able to take cute pictures, and I don't think that the pet enjoys it. I mean,
Ursula, did you
if your dog or cat text me and tell me I'm wrong and give me an explanation, maybe send us a picture. I know. I'm regretting even saying this. 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Do you think it's great?
It's cute. It's cute. I mean, and if it brings people joy, like, what am I to say about that?
It brings people joy.
I mean, like, my dog would never tolerate it. Have you ever tried to put those shoes on your dogs? They don't like scratch up the floor, or they don't scratch their. Oh my gosh, they're just. My dog flipped out. They can't. She can't handle anything on her. But there's a lot of animals that tolerate it.
Yeah, if your animal tolerates it, or maybe even looks like they have a smiley face on after you put the costume on, then more power to you.
And plus, aren't there like those tiny dogs that you always see wearing sweaters anyways? And if you don't have some other article of clothing on them, they're just trembling constantly.
Yeah, I'm going to make more enemies right now when I say I put the pet costumes right up there with the people who insist on putting their pets into baby strollers.
What's wrong with that?
Again,
I mean, they have legs, but life of
your
comfort.
animal probably wants to use their.
The tiny dogs
limbs.
don't. The tiny dogs want to be carried around everywhere. They're a fashion accessory, not an animal. I'm just kidding, actually.
I know. I cannot believe I'm arguing with you about this. Okay, wait a minute. Ursula, you got to look up cats in dinosaur costume. It is so freaking cute. I'm obsessed, says Mark and Olympia. But Nikki says, my dog hates her sweaters or coats, so you know a costume would just be cruel. There. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, whose animal loves the costume?
Okay, that's why I'm still waiting.
I'm waiting too. I thought you were going to get lit up on here. I'm not seeing it yet. Well, if you happen to overindulge maybe on the Halloween candy that's left over since you had 4 kids at your house like Ursula's, the Washington Post is encouraging folks to try a turkey trot. These are one of these fun runs or walking things that people do after the Thanksgiving holiday to jog off a couple calories. Ursula, do you have an opinion on these fun runs?
I love that people do them. I wish I would do them more often. I don't want to make a big. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Actually, I just was talking about this with Mark yesterday.
Really?
The less active you are, like the less active I am right now. I mean, I am just more in danger of losing that ability to move later. And so, especially when you're just stuffed after Thanksgiving, and I mean, that's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to be in that. I know. Well, you're looking at me strangely, but I just wish I had the incentive.
Yeah,
and I should have the incentive.
You have to have friends that pressure you into it, because that's the only way I've participated is like my cousin or Gabby being like, come do the fun run. The only problem I have with it is the concept of paying to run. That doesn't make sense to me. Like a lot of these are not even charity events. They're for-profit ventures where you get to run around Green Lake and you've got the little tag on and they'll take a picture of you and then you can buy the photo for $5 to post on the internet and you get a little bag of plastic swag that's just mostly garbage with stickers and stuff in there.
But you can say you did it. There's community.
There's people that run every day that don't.
But
it's free.
Sure,
running is free.
But like you said, I mean, I enjoy it. The times I have gone when one of my husband's cousins invited me on these walks that were these sponsored events, I loved it. Got to know her and felt like I was doing something great for the community and enjoying rooting other people on that you see along the way. I totally get it.
I love it when I go to Green Lake and there's a fun run happening and there's like 5,000 people running around the lake. I don't know. I cannot get into it.
Yeah.
I cannot get into it. Like running is the only sport in the world where you can do it anywhere. All you need is a pair of shoes. And the idea that we have to pay for things that are free, I don't know.
Huh.
$10 bottles of water and fun runs.
I'm getting distracted right now because Carrie and Bonnie Lake, who's always got the greatest text, says the saying is do squats now, whether you're in your 50s or 60s, so that you can do the other kind of squat on your own when you're 90.
Is that how it works?
Yes. Yes. We need to try to stay as active as possible.
Keep that in mind.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Okay, we will share your text messages and words to live by coming up next.
The Northwest's trusted news source, KIRO Newsradio.
Police in Federal Way are investigating what appears to be a car explosion.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is live from the neighborhood.
I can't tell you enough how crazy this scene is here.
Coverage you depend on.
A massive police presence in Kent.
From voices you know and trust.
We have an active fire inside one of these buildings here.
KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. When it comes to the technology that the IRS is using, they're updating systems that haven't been updated in decades. And while that might sound great for them, it's usually bad for the taxpayer who owes.
It is, and their systems, unfortunately, they're just legacy systems. If you try to make an inquiry on some things, it's like you got to know how to use programming language to find it. But they are working on updating that system, and I hope that really they do, because they'll serve us better, the taxpayer better, and get things done quicker. The other thing they're doing is AI, just like every organization. So they're already using it to some extent to put in profile of certain things that they want to look for in a taxpayer and find those people and go after them or see what's going on, why they're not getting their money.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn, None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, None Better Tax Resolution.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
No, it's not too soon to start holiday shopping. Ulta Beauty's early Black Friday event is happening now through November 22nd. Shop $10 beauty minis from brands like MAC and Too Faced. Take 30% off Lancome and Touchland fragrances and body mists. With new offers dropping every week, our associates can help you find the perfect gifts. Head into Ulta Beauty today to shop our early Black Friday event. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Tired of uneven heating, noisy systems, and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings with every system, and every system qualifies for max tax credits. Call the Comfort People at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
And just like that, we are at the end of our Thursday edition of the Gee and Ursula Show. Gee will be back tomorrow. Chef, you are our guest co-host.
Yes.
So I'm going to let you start with our text messages.
Well, we've been talking a lot about, how you can help folks who aren't going to be getting SNAP benefits. Barbara reminds people, please donate pet food. When household income dips, pets are often a burden to feed. Pets give so much love back. It's especially needed now. Shelters are already full, and this is a terrible time for surrenders.
Such a great reminder. Thank you, Barbara. A lot of you texted in when we talked about Halloween. Yes, it is tomorrow. And yes, so many of you think that Halloween used to be a whole lot more fun. Megan in Des Moines says, best memory is my big brother and I sorting out our pillowcase candy. Now, and I texted her back because I said, yeah, I'm one of 5 kids. And so we had 5 bags. So pillowcases, just heaps and heaps. And there were a lot of laughs. And there were a lot of fights.
I bet. Did you guys did you trade?
Oh, always.
Yeah.
Always.
Maybe, just maybe, Halloween was more fun because we were kids. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe we're asking the wrong people.
425 says, I'm a 70-year-old who loves Halloween. Last year I had about 200 trick-or-treaters. I can't wait for tomorrow night. Lights out at 8 or when I'm out of candy.
I love that. Patty says, remember the unwritten rule. Porch light on, come get candy. Lights off, next house.
It's a new rule now. There's a new rule.
Oh, what's the new rule?
If there aren't any decorations, I don't bother knocking.
Oh, really?
Because there's a lot of people who
made that rule?
This is just observation. There's a lot of folks who are home. They've got all the lights on in the house, porch lights on. Knock on the door and nobody ever comes.
I've just been really busy. I don't have any decorations, but I'm going to have candy. I better get my pumpkin out.
Yes, indeed. Is it giant inflatable?
No.
Okay, good for you.
Okay, AI is dominating the news these days. Is it all gloom and doom? Nick in the 206 says, AI has created a financial bubble that will likely collapse at some point, but you can't argue the revolutionary changes and possible improvements that it could create for mankind. If we're able to create the green energy infrastructure to support it, that would be a great start.
You know what? That's a good point. That is a fantastic point. On the topic of pet costumes, Al in Seattle says, there are maybe 86 million pet dogs in the U.S., so we're saying that pet owners are paying about $10 per pet. Well, there are cats too. These types of purchases are exactly what capitalism is good for, but capitalism is not good for the resources we all rely on.
Okay, on the topic of fun runs, I'm going to share two. Paul in 253 says, there's nothing fun about running. And then Brian texted in and said, I only run when I'm being chased.
Paul, I see you. I ran cross country all throughout high school, and I kept waiting for that runner's high.
Me too.
Never happened once. It's just
I just don't think we were doing it enough.
This still hurts. On hold music.
Where is that high?
Mel on Bainbridge says, I literally screamed at a phone bot last week. I kept yelling, operator, operator, operator. And all I kept getting back was, I understand you want an operator, but please provide more information. I lost my mind.
Sharon says, I do reception, office, and sales support. People are so grateful to talk to a real person when they call in. And have you ever done that where you're like, oh, wait,
You're real? It's so refreshing. Yes. On the topic of mail-in ballots, 206 says, my sister lives in Sultan. Last year's election, she handed in her ballot at the local post office. When she tracked it, it was rejected because it wasn't postmarked in time. That's your reminder. If you do deliver it at the post office, make sure you have them postmark it right then. Otherwise, find yourself a ballot box.
And speaking of postal employees, we got this text message on the topic of daylight saving time ending this Sunday. Do you prefer late sunsets in the summer or earlier sunrises in the winter? 360 says, I absolutely hate 4 o'clock sunsets. It makes my job so much more difficult and dangerous as a mail carrier. We are constantly asking our customers to make sure that they turn their porch lights on early. So great reminder for all of you. We'll stop there and do our words to live by. And I know this is hard right now sometimes to find joy, but this is a quote about finding joy, and it's anonymous, the author. Choose joy. Do not wait for things to get easier, simpler, better, anything like that, because life will always be complicated. Learn to be happy right now. Otherwise, you will run out of time. Again, not always easy, but I hope that when you tune into the show that you do have more moments of joy. You certainly bring that to us. Chef, thank you so much. And Nick, take us out.
Well, we're just days away from more November voting counts with the spotlight here in downtown as the race for mayor mounts. But with a race so close in polls from recent news we've seen, we might need some holding music from that old voicemail machine. While you're waiting, please don't get last-minute costume deals of a devil kitty for your cat or vampire dogs that heal. You know, they're going to hate it much more than you love it, believe me, so just don't put them through it.
Okay, and I am going to say that a few of our listeners did give some pushback to me about the pets in costumes, and they sent text messages with their cats, cat Opal looking really cute and look very happy. So I understand that for some pets, it's okay.
Well, one of those pets was a hairless cat. Doesn't have any fur. Like, it's probably cold all the time.
You're taking a gamble.
Anyway, thank you so much. Jake and Spike are coming up next. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon.
Hope you had as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
The John Curley Show.
And the reason I love autumn the most, and I guess that's why I love to grow pumpkins,
weekdays 3 to 7,
is because it's nature telling you summer is over and soon it will be dark and it will be cold and there will be no light. And just before, nature says, here's a prize.
Regenerative medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm 4 months.
Regenerative medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm 4 months out and I have no pain in my knees, and I have had knee pain my whole life. I have no concept of what it was like without pain. It's a miracle. I'm totally thrilled.
No pain, no limits.
Dr. Wagner gave me the green light to ski again this year. I'm like, that's incredible. So I'm just so excited.
After years of surgeries and setbacks, Lynn finally got her freedom back.
I think he saved my legs, so saved my knees, and gave me at least another 10, 15 years to do what I want to do.
If joint pain is holding you back, find out what stem cell therapy could do for you with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
KIRO News Radio.
Get on the YouTube channel.
We're live all day on YouTube. Every show, every day.
Hang out with us. The whole gang's there.
And you never know what you might see.
Back up the camera. Oh, my God.
Just search KIRO News Radio, then subscribe.
If you're a veteran struggling with your monthly bills, VA loan expert Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage has some good news for you.
Rates have dropped recently, and this could be a great time for our veterans to think about a cash-out refinance to get out of your high-interest rate debt. For example, one of our clients had a 2.25% VA loan, but he owed more than $155,000 on credit cards and a home equity loan. So we paid off all of that debt and replaced his mortgage with a VA cash-out refinance. And the new VA loan saved him $1,268 per month. So give us a call and see if a VA cash-out refi can help save you money. And remember, with a VA loan, you can buy a home with no money down.
And you can help non-veterans as well.
That's right. If you have a conventional loan, we'll run the numbers and see if we can help save you money, too.
Honest advice you can trust from the VA loan experts, Best Mortgage. Call now, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it hard to fight flu, pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. Northwest News.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses, inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle. North